you, everyone. Good evening. I call this May 26th meeting of the Abington Conservation Commission to order. The time is 6:30 p.m. My name is Lynn Mullen, and I am the chair of the commission. I'll be presiding over the meeting this evening. This meeting is being recorded by the Abington Community Access and Media Incorporated. Is anyone else recording the meeting? No? Okay. The other members of the commission here tonight are Jean Matiosis, Alvin Schneider, and Chris O'Neill. And we also have our conservation agent, Nick Jenks, here to help us. And as a reminder, all documents must have been submitted to the commission at least 1 week before a scheduled hearing. Documents that are offered tonight will be accepted by the commission, but the hearing will be continued until the next meeting to allow the commission and the public time to review the new materials. So now I'm going to briefly explain how we're going to run the hearing. The applicant or property representative will come up to the podium, they'll introduce themselves and provide their address. If they have a presentation, they'll make it at that time. The commission will then ask questions or make comments, for clarification purposes. Then I'll open it up to the public. If you would like to say something, you can come up to the podium as well, introduce yourself, and give your name and address. And always direct your comments and questions to the chair. And once we finish the public comment, we will bring it back to the commission for discussion. And at that point, we won't be taking additional comments from the public. We may take action this evening on a particular project, or we may continue it to another hearing. And then finally, because our recording equipment doesn't pick up overlapping voices very well, I do ask that everyone speak one at a time throughout the hearing. Okay. All right, so let's start with the minutes. So we have March 10th, 2026. Has everyone had time to look over them? They were very thorough.
Yep.
Very well done by Nancy.
So everybody's read them, right?
I did.
Make a motion to accept the meeting minutes for March 10th, 2026.
I'll second it.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous, okay. Next is the vote on the vice chair. We're gonna go ahead and skip that today. Regarding SC, I'm gonna bump two things up because they've been continued. SEO 840565, request for certificate of compliance filed by Keelan Arayu, project located at 412 Summer Street. They have asked for continuance until June 9th. So we have to have a motion for that, to accept that request.
Motion to continue SE 0840565 until June 9th.
At 6:30 p.m.
At 6:30 p.m.?
At 6:30 p.m.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, one abstention, okay. Unanimous otherwise. Also, for SE 0840576, notice of intent filed by MP Design Consultants to construct a 3-lot single-family home subdivision with the wetland crossing project located at 4454 Linwood Street. We have been asked for a continuance. The property, first of all, we were given documents on Thursday afternoon, Memorial Day weekend, and town hall closes early, so we did not receive those documents until today, which does not give us adequate time to review the materials and does not give you adequate time either to request or review them. Our peer reviewer has also not had time to go through and give documentation, and he has also requested that we continue the meeting. So they had asked for something in July. We're not certain at this point if we are taking July or August off at this point. So the suggestion was that we continue it until June 9th, and then we make a decision about when we want to continue that. They wanted it until the end of July, correct?
Yeah, July 24th is what they were
Okay.
hoping for.
Okay. So I think what we'll do tonight is we will continue it to June 9th, and then we will make the decision about that time. That would be your only notice, by the way. If you're here for that particular thing, we won't be sending you notifications of when that hearing will next be scheduled, just to be clear. You can come up to the podium.
Elise McMenamin, 9 Hunts Pond Lane. So in this continuance, will they actually be submitting the 1-house plan and 2-house plan like that was asked by the Conservation Committee?
I'm not sure what from what I've seen, they've submitted a revision to information about wildlife habitat review and replication that
Yeah.
was given to us. We received it essentially today. John Rockwell is our peer reviewer. He's hoping to make comments and, have his own documents. That hasn't been given to us yet. He hasn't come up with it.
Sorry to cut you off. I had an opportunity to review what they submitted, and in there, they said that they still have to cross the wetland crossing regardless, so the size of the project doesn't matter. And that really bothered me because they've been asked 3 times now to submit alternative plans. And if they're going to continue to not do that, then I think that their application should be denied if they're not going to do what the town is asking. And they should start from the beginning.
Right,
I
okay.
just wanted that on record.
Sure, absolutely, absolutely.
Thank you.
Sure. Okay, so we just need to vote for continue, oh, yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to have a discussion about, because they're not here
Yep.
for, for due
I'll try
process
not
and
to.
stuff. Okay,
No,
yes,
I-
but I don't want to cut off residents from talking either.
My name is Jim Hoyt. I live at 125 Linwood Street. I just want to say I just second what Elise said. I mean, people have given them more and more opportunities than I think anybody deserves. And if they're just going to keep disobeying you, I don't see why you should keep giving in to them. And so I just wanted to second what Elise said.
Okay, great.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Little off topic, but not a lot.
That's okay.
I noticed that the dam at the end of the
Sorry,
pond.
name and address.
Oh, I'm sorry, Barry McMiniman, I'm at 9 Hunts Pond. The dam at the end has been marked for something, they're gonna cut trees or something, does that affect any of this?
No, I think what you're referring to is that I think if you check the DEP website, on the Abington Town website, DEP, I think they're going to be working with Brockton about looking at and evaluating the strength of the dam because it was raised a few prior meetings that the dam was failing. I think Mr. Hanna brought it up. I'm not sure. But I think that's what you might be looking at.
Okay.
I don't know for sure, but I did see it under DEP. They were looking at the dam with the city of Brockton.
Well, the Beavers now have built a dam where the brook empties into the pond, and they are now flooding from Mill Street up to Groveland Street, and they've already flooded on the opposite side of Groveland. Those trees have all died. The whole thing has turned into a swamp, I don't know.
Yep.
But is it gonna get rid of the beaver dam, or do they keep the beaver dams, or?
No, I think I'm talking about the dam down on Mill Street where
Yep.
it comes to the road right next to Mrs. George's property, I think it is.
Yep.
That dam there that regulates it, that goes into the meadow, I think
Yep.
that's what DEP was looking at. Are you talking about trees in another area?
I'm talking about, that's the first dam, that's the man-made dam.
Yep.
Then there's a beaver dam at the end now at the pond that was never there before.
I
That's
didn't-
all new,
all right.
and they flooded that road.
Oh, I
And if
don't
you
know.
go down Groveland Street,
Yep.
on the right-hand side, if you're heading towards Brockton, they built one in there and cut off the culvert and flooded all that woods back in there too. I don't know if they're gonna, how many dams do we allow them to build?
Leave my beavers alone.
All right, so thank you very much for that. We'll go ahead and discuss a motion for
Okay.
continuance to June 9th.
So motion to continue 0840576 until the June 9th meeting at 6:30 PM to determine when the official meeting will be held for their, reviewing their application and their changes.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Do I have a second?
I can second that.
Thank you.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. All right, unanimous, great. One thing that I forgot to say at the beginning is that we do have an opening on the Conservation Commission, so I just wanted to make that, I forgot to mention it ahead of time, so there you go. While I've got a bunch of people in the room, I wanted to make that before you
Mrs.
guys all walk
McManaman,
away.
Mrs. McManaman, are you listening? An opening.
Conflict of interest.
Oh, all right, okay.
For a particular project, you can always recuse yourself.
That's true.
Yeah, not for everything else. Okay. All right, great. So we got those two off. Now we're going to go to SCO 840587, notice of intent filed by the Abington Select Board for excavation of test pits in connection with Massachusetts DEP required landfill assessment. Project is located at 171 Groveland Street.
Hi, my name is Rob Canali. I'm with Sanborn Head. here on behalf of the town regarding the landfill. Just to summarize where we left off in the first meeting, we've reduced the number of test pits from 10 to 5 with the idea that the eastern side is really the most important side. The side that's on the western lobe, we already have an understanding that as part of the wetland restoration and what potential will be compensatory storage issues, we're going to relieve the southwest lobe as an area that's going to be pulled back. So that'll be in front of you guys at some point, but the test pitting isn't as critical. It's really the eastern side where DEP's approved a permit for the CSA, which is the comprehensive site assessment, to go out and do additional test pits to confirm how thick the waste is on that outside edge. In our last meeting, the board requested that Save Wetlands go back out, redelineate because we were outside the window, which we have. Epsilon Associates is the wetland specialist that did the review. We submitted that to you guys on the 15th. I hope you've had time to look at it. I'm not sure if there's any questions you might have or if there's additional information you might need.
Did you find any differences between what you did back in the winter and what you did now?
They didn't.
Okay.
They didn't, no. In the report that the updated report, they actually had photos of both December and April. I think he was talking, there were talking points in terms of reflection. I don't know if he was necessarily trying to make a point, but they were very similar in that aspect. But he didn't find anything that would indicate any significant change. There was no change to the actual ribbon delineation that he provided. But that, yeah, the extent is that it's essentially the same.
Okay.
What about the area that was questionable as far as whether it was a vernal pool or not? I mean, I don't have my documents with me, so I can...
They said that it was.
They said it's not
It
yet.
wasn't?
No.
Okay. Do we have the, is it wet all year round, or did it dry up, or, I mean, I don't even know.
It may have been dry in December. That's a valid point. I think in April, when he went out there, it was still wet. To say if it's at that peak point where the vernal pool would sort of be,
Yeah.
it's tough to say.
The only reason why I'm asking is because anybody who knows where the recycle center is in Abington on Groveland Street, on both sides, there's significant, I mean, the huge vernal pools, even though they're not recorded by the state as being certified vernal pools. That was my concern, because it just seems in that whole area, it just is, with the Swift River and everything and all the intermittent streams we have, just, you know, it doesn't have to be certified to be considered.
I think
Yeah,
we
no,
mentioned that this time too. I
Yeah,
was- I was looking for that.
Okay, good.
Yeah, he made mention that he didn't see anything.
Yeah, see, I didn't bring that, I was like, I left
And
that
I
at
think he
home.
mentioned there was across the street,
Thanks.
there was a
Is it?
vernal pool.
Right there, resubmitted.
Please, thank you, sorry.
You really think I'm on top of my shit enough to have it?
Oh, excuse me, okay. All right.
The only other thing was, last time there was a part of the river that couldn't be mapped, and it wasn't very clear why, and this time they said, oh, we couldn't map it because it was flooded.
If there was high water, he did indicate there was high water, but I think it was vegetation thickness is what it was the first time. But yeah, he made reference, it didn't change in that area. Their delineation didn't change for the mean high water.
Is that for Stream River? The perennial?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
No, it was the eastern side that you were eager last time to get in with the long reach on, right?
That was, the goal was to really try to do it during the winter time so there'd be less disruption. At this point, it's, we're in it. It's
Yeah,
not frozen,
it's,
so it's not as critical. I mean, we'd like to get it done as soon as possible, but, yeah.
it seems like whatever means necessary, because you're going to the point, you know it's contaminated, you're just going until you hit clean pretty much.
Well, so it's a requirement. DEP requires it out of the, there's a 3-part assessment phase that DEP requires when you go to closure. We're actually in the 3rd phase. We've done a significant amount of test pitting already out there as part of the CSA and the ISA, the initial site assessment and the comprehensive, which is really the monitoring part of it. We're in the alternatives analysis, which looks at really how we're going to close this. What's the most cost-effective way of doing it and most appropriate way that would pass. We present 3 alternatives. The town has the option to look at those alternatives and advocate for one. Ultimately, it'll be DEP's decision as to which one they think is going to be most, we make a recommendation and it goes from there. That's where we are. We're in that alternatives analysis. As part of the CSA approval that DEP gave us, they asked us to go back one more time and do supplemental test pitting along that edge. They acknowledge the waste is there, but our request is how far do we go? And they're asking us, just see if you can grab it in between. So those 5 that we have there are supplemental test pits that are already up there for another 6 test pits on that side. So,
Okay.
and then the results of that will basically just confirm whether we're going to be pulling back or will there be, the difficulty is that whole section is all peat. It's about 4 to 5 feet of peat there. So
Right.
you don't want to go out there and be pushing it around. If you don't have to pull it back, it's at that point where you say to yourself, how disruptive are we going to get? But they may require us just because of the depth. It's unfortunate because it's predominantly it's washout that comes off the slopes and it just migrates out into the wetlands. It's the quality of the wetlands, I guess, that comes into question. In the discussions that we've had with DEP wetlands, that is, we had solid waste, DEP solid waste and DEP wetlands in the same room at the same time, just to try to flush the idea out in terms of, is the value of the wetlands higher than removal, or is removal one of those things you want us to do? And
Absolutely. You know, I've worked on enough cleaned up or reprocessed, whatever you want to say, wetlands that are, or sorry, dump sites that are membrane capped, and the devastation that almost comes from a lot of them is almost depressing to think of this whole piece of land to be stripped and cleared of trees to remove soil.
Well, not only that, but nature also has a habit of healing itself. I mean, you can have, I think down by where you live, they've dumped asphalt in the woods and nature has reclaimed its
Right.
right in
Yeah.
place.
I
So,
just-
They have plans too.
yep,
Yep.
yep.
That's what, you know, you go in this area, there's a lot of well-established trees and thriving. I understand it's considered contamination, but to what point? And it seems like that's what you're brushing on with DEP, is to what extent you have to go to? Okay.
They've already indicated that the closure has to go through this process. You have to go through it. Now, if you can advocate to do no action, it's out there. The environmental part of it really is outweighing everything that we talk about in terms of whether we cap or not. So if you're getting impacted levels, even low levels, they'll recognize that as something worth capping or doing some sort of cap. You might be doing a biotic cap instead of a full geomembrane cap, but it's something that they'll look at. They look at that heavier than just the environmental impacts. Wetlands is involved only because the whole landfill is encompassing it. So it's kind of one of those deals. It's a significant amount of footprint that you're going to be dealing with. The question is, where do you do the replication? That's going to be the challenge.
That's gonna be the challenge, and it's almost unfortunate. We know there's pieces in town that are worse than this to the water table, but,
Well, it's the important with the stream river too.
yep. All right, so what are we looking for tonight then? We need approval, go forward with test pitting, or?
I don't know if there was someone that had a request to go out and do a site walk. I thought there was something to that effect that if you want to do that as part of this, I mean, it's entirely up to you. I got to be honest with you. It's whatever you guys need to get approval.
I would love to, but I can't.
I know you can't. I would like to do that since that is our process. I also recognize that there is a time limit to this
Right.
at the same time. So what is the exact deadline in
Oh, we're
June?
way past it.
Oh,
Don't worry about it. We've already talked to DEP that we keep them up to date as to what's going on. It's just that simple. There are
Okay.
other things in terms of, and this isn't just you guys or anything for that matter, it's just the process. The whole issue of trying to get DEP wetland and solid waste together was another process. It's tough to get those
Yeah.
two departments together, but it was important to set groundwork to say, are we wasting anybody's time here? I know the approval's already out there, but if we go and do this and it's not going to be recognized by DEP wetland, what are we doing? And so they were in agreement to say, yeah, no, move forward, do what you're doing, and then we'll come back. And again, the hope was to try to get in there before the winter time and maybe have an answer by early spring, but it is what it is. We can still make good time if we get it within the next, month or so.
oh, okay.
So they're aware of it.
All right.
No, I'm good. I just wanted to point out something to you later.
I'm fine with that. I just want to take a look at it.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Otherwise, I don't have any other questions. Does anybody else? No? Okay.
I will say one thing, the landfill itself, the biggest concern that I would have, just an infrastructure standpoint, not to mention the environmental aspects, the twin culverts that you have going through the landfill. Those are more concerning to me than probably anything else that you've got going on with the landfill itself because of the condition that they're in.
The culvert that goes under Groveland Street?
Actually, no, goes through the
Further,
landfill.
go through the landfill.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's two twin 6-foot diameter.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That is something that I think the town is gonna have to address regardless of what we do in terms of capping it at some point. The roof's pretty rough shape. I don't know if there's any TVing
Yeah, I see
inspections or
that.
anything, but it's,
Did you say 6-foot diameter?
they're
Yeah,
true, yeah,
look at-
they don't look 6 foot because they're in an egg shape.
Gotcha.
But,
Those right there.
that will be something I think the town is gonna wanna look
It's
at
for
at
the
some time in the
stream.
future.
It's for a perennial stream.
That would be just eliminate. Maybe at whatever point.
What I was concerned about is here.
Yeah, I know.
I can't help but wonder if it'd be,
That's what I was talking about.
Yeah. That's a problem.
can't help but wonder if it'd be possible at whatever point they're doing the work in there, where this land is landlocked, so to speak, just remove them.
Then what happens to the perennial stream?
Make it a stream. Why does the stream need to be covered?
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, you're gonna have them rip out all those trees that are already in there then? I mean, I don't know.
Well, it's either replace it, which involves ripping it all up
Yeah.
to replace it, or just rip it up, take it out, and never be a concern again, and now it's
So
an
we're just
open-
requesting test pits right now.
Right.
Okay. I don't have a problem with test pits.
So are you okay with us having a site walk and then
Yes,
at the
oh,
next
absolutely.
meeting?
Yep.
I mean, I don't want to speak for everyone else, but I don't have a problem
Yeah.
with approving it, so.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know if you just probably need time to think about what day you want to go, but whenever you guys are available, I will
Okay.
make myself available to do
Oh,
that.
perfect. Okay, good. So we can set it up with Nick?
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
Did you want to speak? Sure.
Michael Moresco, the town manager. It might be helpful, I would just recommend, through you, Madam Chair, to the committee, maybe we would schedule a site walk on there so that everyone gets an opportunity to take a look at what needs to be done.
Yeah.
Yeah. And have like a little working meeting there while we're there.
Yeah.
We just have to be careful with,
We can have an open, we can post it as a
Okay.
meeting and, you know, say it's in this location or something like that.
It's
and then we don't
generally
have to worry
difficult to get
about it.
4 of you for the same time
Yeah, just in
anyways for a
general.
sidewalk, so usually we don't have that problem.
Yeah, that's true. Probably won't. Usually there's like 2 people who show up, so.
Though I'd like to go, but I can't.
I know you want to go. It is probably difficult terrain, right?
sorry?
Is it difficult terrain to walk through?
I'd be careful. Yeah, you want to wear the right boots and, yeah,
Okay.
it's overgrown. So, yeah.
You're our Gene.
Yeah, I know.
I'll make the
Got
decision
another
for you.
month, Probably, where you can do that.
If you're gonna go right down to the wetlands on the east side, that would be, yeah, going down that slope is not, you gotta be careful.
Yeah, can't do it then.
we'll put you in a kayak over at Cape Cod Lumber. And you can,
Paddle your way over. Okay.
Now, can I have an ATV? Can I have an ATV?
there's one that's been offered to us.
No. No, I'm good. We're just being funny.
Okay. So we can work with Nick
Yeah,
and get a site walk done and then continue it to the next hearing.
All right, so you need a motion
And then
for the
we're,
next hearing?
yeah.
okay.
That
Okay,
good?
AJ.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
Do you all feel, depending on how the sidewalk goes, that we need him in attendance for the next meeting? Or is everyone pretty comfortable unless we find something surprising out there?
It's up to you. I don't think we'll need you to show up unless you want to.
That'd be great. Yeah, I just gotta get a contractor on board and gotta get going, that's all.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be awesome.
Okay.
We can do that.
Yeah. If we find something exciting on the sidewalk, that might change.
But yeah,
Right.
Assuming it's what we expect,
I
then
understand. Yeah, I understand. Yeah,
Okay.
That works for me. Just, yeah,
try to save people the trip when we can.
that would be good.
Yeah.
That would be-
Yeah.
Yeah, Nick, I'll touch base with you then.
Yeah, we'll talk tomorrow.
Whatever works for you guys.
Okay.
That'd be great. All right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, perfect, thank you. All right, anybody from the public have any questions? No? All right, so we'll go ahead and bring it back to the board for continuance.
Motion to continue SE 0840587 until the June 9th meeting at 6:30 PM. And having a site walk prior to that meeting with the commissioners. You want to be there? And Nick? And AJ?
Yes.
Okay.
And Chris? And anybody else?
And anyone else? Is that a second?
Second?
Thank you.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Okay, unanimous. All right, moving on. SEO 840-590, notice of intent filed by Johnstone Abington DPW to install new sidewalk, roadway improvements, and stormwater improvements, project located within the Summer Street right-of-way.
I didn't even see that.
It's this book right
Yeah, okay. And this is his, I think I wrote all over these. I did.
Those are
I don't remember where Summer Street is. And it's about where it is. Hi.
Good evening, Madam Chair and members of the commission. For the record, my name is Matt Perry. I'm a civil engineer with TEC. Our address is 282 Merrimack Street in Lawrence, Massachusetts. I'm here on behalf of the Abington Department of Public Works to discuss the Summer Street Transportation Improvements Project. As a refresher, the project's purpose is to improve pedestrian and vehicular safety along Summer Street by providing continuous ADA-compliant sidewalks addressing existing safety deficiencies and minimizing our impacts to resource areas. We last met a little over a month ago and gathered very valuable feedback from both the commission and various abutters. And we have addressed each of your concerns raised and incorporated revisions into our current design. I'd like to briefly walk through these design changes. So during the last meeting, it was brought up that the wetland delineation completed by Hancock Associates occurred during winter conditions, and that did not meet the Abington winter conditions regulation. I'm happy to report that the resource area delineations were confirmed and reflagged on April 24th, 2026. This includes the banks of the Shumatuscan River, which is a perennial stream, as well as the intermittent stream west of Progress Street. So these resource areas have been flagged. Additionally, the mapped potential vernal pool located in the C-Series wetland, which is near the Abington Senior Center. This was investigated on April 24th and again on April 29th in accordance with the town requirements. While the area was seasonally inundated during the first visit, no evidence of obligate species were observed on either of the dates. And during the fall visit on the 29th.
Excuse me, can you show us on that map where you looked near the senior center for that vernal pool? I mean, it's easy for you to flip through your maps than it is for me to open these up.
No, I can go through with it.
Thank you.
Yeah. So the mass mapper indicated a potential vernal pool in these wetlands right here. So this is the senior center driveway right here. The senior center sits about right here. So that potential vernal pool was mapped somewhere in those C-Series wetlands there.
Okay.
So they're saying this was not found.
And I'll continue what I was saying. So yeah, during their fall visit on the 29th, the water levels have significantly receded further supporting that the area does not meet vernal pool criteria. So after analyzing these updated resource area delineations, we updated our plans accordingly and to reflect these associated buffer zones. So these updates include the riverfront area of the Shumatusacan River, as well as the 100-foot and 200-foot pond zones of the pond located near Monahan Crossing. We also corrected the floodplain mapping shown on the prior plans. The previous limits were based on GIS data, which of course is generalized. So we have since confirmed that the 100-year floodplain corresponds to elevation 80. And all of our proposed work is actually occurring above this elevation. So as a result, there is no flood storage loss, no rise in flood elevation, and no impacts to bordering land subject to flooding, which is great. So while the project does result in an increase in 7,100 square feet of impervious area, the increase in peak runoff is minimal. It's less than 1 CFS in the 100-year storm event. So at the Commission's request, we evaluated permeable pavement as a potential mitigation solution for our sidewalks. However, its performance depends on regular maintenance procedures such as vacuuming and whatnot. And we consulted DPW with this solution, and they confirmed with us that they don't have the resources to maintain this system, so it would not make it a feasible option for this project. So knowing that, we went back to the drawing board and we said, okay, what can we do now? So we then evaluated the ability to mitigate our impacts in our buffer zones with establishing native vegetation within the landscaped areas on Summer Street. So this plan is going to include the installation of native trees and shrubs, and this is going to establish a layered vegetative community along with slope stabilization using an approved wetland seed mix. So these proposed shrubs are going to include high bush blueberry, speckled alder, northern spicebush, and summer sweet, and the trees will be comprised of red maples. So these measures are intended to restore and enhance the buffer function, improve habitat value, and provide a long-term erosion control to this area of land. So these improvements are going to result in a net enhancement of buffer zone function compared to the existing conditions of Summer Street. And lastly, I just wanted to bring up, there were concerns raised by an abutter at 183 Summer Street. And so we revised our design to better control the flooding issue that she's experiencing on her property. So our design is proposing a defined gutter line at the driveway and along the pavement edge. So this will prevent stormwater from encroaching onto her property and ensure proper conveyance to the closed drainage system on Summer Street. So in closing, the project is addressing a critical pedestrian and vehicular safety concern on Summer Street. We are avoiding direct wetland impacts and minimizing our buffer zone disturbances as best as we can. So we've incorporated the Commission's feedback, and we believe that the revised design meets all the applicable performance standards of the bylaw and is environmentally responsible. So we'd like to request the issuance of an order of conditions, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you guys have. Thank you.
Thank you. You'd mentioned that you were going to add native vegetation. Is that all along, like both sides, or?
So this was only really feasible along the south side of the roadway, given that our sidewalks go in the north side. There just wasn't enough room to kind of mirror this on both sides. So right now it's only the south side. We found areas of sort of flat topography, and that's where we're going to see a lot of those trees and shrubs being planted. And then the areas of, steeper slopes is going to be where you see this native wetland seed mix, which is This wetland seed mix is a Mass DOT spec material that they propose on a lot of their projects where there is steep land abutting wetland resource areas, so it's a common practice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So am I looking at this figure here correctly? Photo facing west. So all along your proposed area of the sidewalk, you can see it's all of our favorite plant there, Japanese knotweed.
Yes, yes.
Hate to be that guy, but if you're going with vegetation and everything, as part of our bylaw, any of the orders are going to include an invasive species plan unless we exclude it. Could we try and come up with a plan and choke that out with native vegetation in some manner? I mean, a lot of people jump right to spray the poisons and everything. We'd like to try and see when they choke it out with more native plants and everything to try to prevent the comeback of it.
Yep.
So with where I understand it's not an ideal location, unless other members disagree with me and they want to exclude it, that usually ends up being within the order of conditions to handle that if it's in the proximity of the work.
Right. Yep.
So just something to keep in mind, that handling that could be done with planting of natives versus just, I know we've seen some creative solutions submitted prior.
On that length of roadway also, anybody who has traveled down that road in the spring knows that there are a lot of spring peepers in this area right along there. So poisons are kind of...
Oh, absolutely. I'd rather see, even if the knotweed's not taken out completely, I'd love to see plantings to hopefully choke them out eventually. I know there's no easy way to handle it, but...
So, looking at this photo, I really didn't, the maps are so huge, I don't want to open them up.
Yep. You can go to...
Yeah, I want to see how far in that's going to go.
Not very far.
Okay.
It's only pretty much, when I pulled the scales on it, it's pretty much just over that guardrail.
Okay, so is the guardrail going to remain, or are they going to put a new one in, or is that just going to be the sidewalk and that's it?
I think you have new guardrails.
New guardrail,
right?
that's correct.
So it's going even further in?
I
Yes.
think the guardrail's going in a similar location, right?
Right, but I mean, looking at the photo from exhibit number 6, you can see that the sidewalk's going to take up that space. So then the guardrail's going to go further into the wetland area. Is that correct? Yes. By how much? That's my concern.
So you can kind of see on this plan, or it's probably hard for you guys.
Yeah.
There's this dark line here.
Okay.
That's going to be our proposed limits of clearing. So it lies outside of the wetlands, but a lot of this clearing is probably going to end up being the clearing of Japanese knotwood. So we'd be happy to, if we find that our limit of clearing doesn't actually address this concern, we could certainly revise it to take care of that.
I know most of that stretch is taken over by the knotweed, so
Yeah.
it's
I was just
not...
gonna say that. I think it's like the
Yeah.
whole run of it.
I think what might be most important is that the removal is
Yeah.
overseen properly,
Yes.
so it isn't just spread
Right.
when they throw it all in a truck and drive through town.
Right. Yeah.
I think that's the most important thing
That's a
here.
very good point.
It's gonna be
because-
difficult to outcompete it on that roadway, but at least not making it a problem for all of Summer Street and then Plymouth Street and Center
the-
Ave and
yeah,
all the way
and
through Rockland.
The type
Because this
of,
is kind of how knotweed ends up. That's probably how it ended up here, is by someone trucking through from another project.
Yep.
yeah, and the barriers between that and the, what's left of the remaining buffer before the wetland, we can discuss at the order of conditions.
I know when I walked that the other day, I took a walk down that just to take a look. It's kind of a drop-off Like you said, they're in that 80-foot level.
Yep.
That whole area was raised pretty much to put the road back in.
Yep.
So it's,
I believe there was a nursery that used to be in behind there too.
oh, I believe it.
Yep.
But as long as, my biggest thing was that.
My biggest thing is that I don't want to see any more degradation to the area that has to be done.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Keep dropping this.
So I would say when we set order of conditions, make sure we heavy on and make sure we cover invasive species handlement and plan. So usually we put that prior to work. They need to submit invasive species mitigation plan and handling plan. Make sure we see that this time.
That would be in the special orders.
Yep. I'm just trying to think of what we need to, so he's looking for a vote to start securing, but we would need to write the orders, and then you guys would want to review them prior and comment on anything before we put forward a vote, I would say, correct?
I mean, if you want to discuss maybe some of the special conditions you're thinking of tonight, I can kind of give you a feeler if I feel it's something that I need to go back to the town and John to talk about. And, you know, I don't want to commit to anything.
Yep, no, absolutely. I know with public projects, usually we send out the orders and then you come back with any issues or whatever, and then we
Okay.
finalize at the next meeting, but if you're looking for it, I can't speak on behalf of it.
No, that is true. That's what we did with Hancock and Chestnut Street.
Yep.
So we came up with the orders, and then the applicant came back and said this was not practical.
Okay.
And then, you know, because a lot of our order conditions are really based upon, like, are you building a subdivision or house,
Yeah.
and not necessarily having this type of project. So we
Right.
want to make sure that what we can do is, you know, going to helpful for the environment and everything, but also will work in terms of a construction
Yeah.
put. So I think we can do that, you know, at the end of the meeting tonight, we can come up with the conditions, we can have them sent over to you.
Yeah.
You guys can look it over, and then at the next meeting, we'll just, you know, but then we can talk about approving it tonight, so at least you have that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be great. Makes sense. Thank you.
Okay. So any other questions? Okay, anybody in the audience? Okay, bringing it back to the board.
You looking for a motion?
Motion to continue?
Well, we're not going to continue, right? We're going to
Yeah,
read the
or
order
we're
of
gonna
conditions.
approve it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Motion to establish our special conditions and send out for,
And we have to approve first.
Yeah. approve.
yep. Get the note right over the number.
Right here. 084590.
SE 0840590
No, to approve.
to approve notice of intent and establish,
DPW to install new sidewalk, roadway, and improvements, and stormwater improvements. Project located within the Summer Street right-of-way.
yep,
Chris, second.
I'll second that.
Okay,
Your glasses, I know.
yeah.
Didn't have his glasses, I was helping.
all right. How many ayes do we have here?
Aye.
Aye.
All right,
Sorry.
any noes? Unanimous. All right,
Okay.
we'll write the orders and then send them over to you, like we mentioned. So,
Okay.
Thank you very much for your time.
all right, thank you. I see.
Glasses. It's okay.
No glasses and then out the door
I know.
at 4 a.m. every day. It starts catching up.
It does.
All right, next up on the agenda, we have a vote on an enforcement order for 308 Brockton Avenue. Let's move that over on that to the map. Okay. This was something that, there was a former member of the commission who saw something, there was an issue and brought it to my attention. Let me then do area we're looking at is this parking lot area here. Is anyone from that property? Would like to come up to the podium?
Yeah, my name's Frank DeAngelis. I'm the trustee for Sharon Rachel Realty Trust. And I received this letter Thursday evening. And it was a long weekend, so it was hard to get a hold of anybody to do anything. I'm not here to, I'll comply to whatever I have to comply to. Today, I went across the street to J&J Truck, and he put a silt fence up today, and he ordered hay bales, so they'll be going in within the next couple of days, but the silt fence is up. I do have a couple of pictures of my phone if you want to see it.
Sure, you can, yeah, that's fine.
You want to see it?
Yeah.
There's like 4 pictures of it. It's the whole place.
It's a silt fence, yeah.
And we got the hay bales ordered.
Straw bales are better, hay carries seeds, that's all. Straw is better because hay will have, yeah, hay has seeds in it and straw doesn't, so. You don't want to introduce foreign seeds into an area like that.
Okay. And so I'll do whatever I can. I called up an engineer, ET Engineering, and the person that'll be doing it is not, he's out of the country right now. He's in London, but he'll be in the 2nd. And I think you probably know Azu. You guys know Azu from ET?
Yeah, we know Azu, yeah.
He said, he told me to come in and tell you that I'm complying and I'll do the best I can, and to possibly ask for a 30-day extension to give us some time to get everything, the equipment out of there and all that stuff. But to give you a little history on the property, because it says here I cut down trees, I never cut down any trees. And what's there has been there for a long time. I bought this property in '86, and when I developed it, it was condemned, and I turned it into what it is. And then there was a sign painter downstairs, Nancy Brooks. She was there for probably 10 years. She had trucks out back. She used to, she was a sign painter. She used to paint lettering on trucks and pinstripe and all that stuff. And in '96, I changed it to apartments. I had to go for a special permit with the town because back then they didn't, it wasn't, you couldn't do it. They gave me permission, and I had to put parking in for everybody. There was more apartments than original. So it's been like that. The landscape has been there since 2011.
Yeah.
And before him, there was a landscaper there for another 10 years. So this has been like this for a long, long time. But like I said, I'll do whatever you guys want me to do. I just want to explain to you that
So this is
in
20.
the pavement area, I repaved that in maybe 2022 or 3 or something like that, maybe 5 years ago. I'm not sure when it was. But that was always paved, but it was broken up. I paved it in '96. But I paved it. I had a small truck and we did it with a hand roller, and it was a terrible job, and it sort of broke up.
It looks like there's trees here. Let's go before 2001, 2005.
There's trees there that fell down. And we, as a matter of fact, the building next door had a huge tree fall right across the property and knocked 2 trees down. We cut them up. And there's been quite a few dead trees. If you look at the property, you'll see trees are dead all behind it. There's I don't know why, but there's been quite a few dead trees there. Those trees that were dead or that fell, I only cut 1 tree down that I remember that was dead because it was going to fall on cars. So I think we did cut, but it was dead.
All right, so take a close look at this picture, okay?
I think you might want to explain where you're getting it from and its historical imagery.
This is, yeah. Just a second, my computer's acting weird. Close that, okay. This is the 1990s. And this is the present day. Sorry, that was 2001. So you're saying that all those trees were dead?
I didn't cut down any trees, honestly. I really did. I see what you're saying, but I don't,
We haven't had any sort of permit that's been approved or any of the work?
well, I pulled the permit for every single thing I did on the building.
We don't have anything from the wetlands.
Pardon me?
The wetlands, did you ever come
Well,
before
no,
us?
no, I didn't have any, I didn't consult with the wetlands because I wasn't told to. I didn't know I had to.
That doesn't excuse
No,
not
I
doing it in
understand,
the
I
first
understand
place.
that now.
Yeah.
And when this is just a gross estimate, but we're talking about over 8,000 square feet of wetlands that have been filled. And that's well over the limit that we would allow even for like a limited project. Where, let's say somebody needs to put a road in to get somewhere. This is not, would never have been approved.
I don't know what I'm seeing right here.
Okay, so the green
Yes.
little funky thing?
Yes.
That's overlay of wetlands. It's an approximation. It's from Mass DEP, the Department of Environmental Protection.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, so it's a cool little site you can go on, it's free, you can type your address in and do all kinds of cool stuff on it. It gives you an approximation. Oftentimes what I've noticed from actually looking in the field versus what's on here is there's actually more wetlands than less. So what we typically would do is we would say to someone, you need to have a wetland scientist come out, delineate it, but you've got, you've paved through everything, and in order for us to have a delineation, we would have to have machinery go out there, destroy the pavement, et cetera, just to determine if there's wetlands there, but it's a significant amount of work that was not permitted.
Like I said, I've known this since 1986, I'm the only one that's been there, and it doesn't seem like that's what happened.
We can go through each year by year and show the changes from 1986. Actually, it only goes back to the 1990s. But even then, you can see there's been significant changes. Just in the past, 2 years or so, year or two ago, is when it was paved. It was not paved until then.
It was paved.
Can you go to 2023?
Well, we can go ahead and take a look, because it didn't look like it was paved to me. This is what it looked like in 2025. And
That's
this is
paved.
what it looks like now.
Can we look back at that one again?
Sure.
That's,
Doesn't look the same.
doesn't look the same because
Line we're at.
this here was obviously, that's pavement, this is all pavement. But it's really old, faded and broken up. Right now, I have to do up here now, because that's all broken up. If you you'll see it's all broken up.
Well, what about down closer to where the tree line is, and you've got,
I'm sorry, Frank, can you just come back to the,
Yeah, he did.
Frank, can you come back to the mic?
Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah.
Sorry, it just makes it very difficult for them recording the meeting. I appreciate it,
Thank
Frank.
you, Nick. I mean,
Well, like I
I
said,
don't want to tell you, because here we are, lots of trees, here we are. lots
What
of-
year is that, Lynn, the one you just went
The
to?
one I just showed is 2001.
When did the
that's
trees come down?
2001.
That's 2001. Yep. And
This
what,
is-
sorry,
When did the trees come down?
let's see, we've got
In 2015, there was some,
let's do, look at this over time. Okay, so that's 2001. Looks like stuff was happening in 2005. If we look at this section, make sure we've got the property. So that looks like things were gone. What are we doing next? 2011.
I can see what would have been original pavement, like you say.
2011. Did I do 2013? No. 2013. Now we start to see pavement here.
Lynn, that 2011 one, can you throw the overlay on it?
Yeah. Oh, you mean the wetlands?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
wetlands overlay.
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Do we want the wetlands overlay on throughout this?
Yeah. I
Or
think
is it
that-
easier to see with
It's
just a
easier if it's
picture?
on there, if it's too much trouble.
All right, so that's 2011 again, 2013. 2015, unfortunately, they did this weird, they did not take a very good picture then. And you can't zoom in. 2019. Okay. Oh, but you can zoom in now.
It looks like those trees are actually moved in like 2015 then.
We see trees moved here too.
Yep.
What are we looking at, what year is that?
This is
Sorry.
2021, yeah.
That's 21 we're looking at?
Yeah, here's 19 again.
Can you put the overlay?
I don't see any difference there. I
Can you
see
put the
moved
overlay?
That
vehicles.
one's not different, I agree with
Okay.
you, yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out when the last time when trees were cut down.
Yeah. What do we have now, 2023? Oh, I already have it in here, something. 2023. There's that. Wetlands, and then 2025 where we
So-
are.
So this one, Lynn, you can actually see
Yeah.
the edge of the original asphalt
Yeah.
that he was saying.
So it looks like the last major, and I'm just trying to get an agreement here, but the last major change was where trees were removed. I do see where there's new lines and everything, obviously, just recently, but looks like last time the trees were encroached upon was 2015-ish.
Yeah, let's see. There's 2015.
That's 2015 right there, Lynn?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's 2015.
Madam Chairwoman, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I will survive. And there's 2019. We can also go to Google Earth too. So I think 2015 is where they just zoomed out and it's hard to see, but you do see trees there and
Yeah, so
between
it's like
that,
the
sometime
2015.
between then. Yeah,
Okay.
So within the
So-
last 10 years.
yeah,
So I think Frank proposed that he is hiring someone to help him with this.
okay.
I think it might be helpful to, I don't think changing anything today is gonna make a difference. Let him get that person back stateside, get him here, discuss it with that. I don't think Frank has too much experience with wetland delineation or anything. Not to, but having him to have that person here to really hash things out, I think would be helpful and let them get on site. So I think first, the commission wants to decide whether they're ratifying this or not, and if they are, maybe just pick a future date and kind of put things on pause until that person can get here and take a look at it.
I believe you asked for 30 days, right?
I was going to say, we asked if we could get a 30-day extension.
Okay, so the end of June,
The June
Yeah.
23rd meeting,
yeah.
would that, do you know when you said he was getting back on the 2nd?
Back the second in a couple of days, though,
Yeah.
and I'll call him up the third, and we'll start the ball rolling.
I think that might be more productive.
Okay, so we can ratify the order of conditions, changing it to get, or adding, not changing it, that there will be attendance. Ratify the enforcement order. Enforcement order will include mention of that 30-day
Yeah, they'll,
deadline or attendance at the next meeting from your representative, and you, if you like.
yeah, I think that would,
And just so I understand, the enforcement order is saying you do not touch it for the time being, that's all we're putting on it.
Yeah, don't do any further work, get a wetland scientist, have the area delineated, that sort of thing, and come up with a restoration plan.
It's okay to continue with the hay bales and stuff, right?
Oh, to getting
The erosion control?
the straw bales? Yeah, you can do that.
Please do that.
Yes, please do. Okay. So, I
We're
need a
gonna make a
motion.
motion to continue this till the end of June?
To
June.
ratify,
And to
this needs to be
First we have
ratified
to
first.
Okay.
ratify.
I can make that motion, let me show you the right one though. I make a motion on the enforcement order of 308 Brockton Avenue, that we ratify the enforcement order. Do we need to do that first, or can I make it all one?
It can all be one.
And then continue until June 24th, I believe the meeting?
23rd.
23rd?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, any opposed? Unanimous. All right, thank you. We'll
Thank
hear
you.
from you soon.
Sorry.
All right, is anyone here from 182 Groveland Street?
So 182 Groveland Street, did reach out after receiving the order. I'm just gonna pass this down so you guys can sign it. They're teaching an ESL class tonight. It's the final class. They don't want to have anyone cover them. They are open and willing to coming to the next meeting on June 9th. You know, I would
I'll make a-
recommend that we let them get into that. Either way, the order does need to be voted on.
Right.
But I would say, if it's ratified, recommend we just pause everything until we can talk to them
Yeah.
on June 9th.
Correct.
But they're responsive.
They called right up. They're definitely willing to come. They just, the final ESL class teaching that was very important to them, and they wanted to attend that tonight.
Sure, of course.
So,
So I'll make a motion to ratify the enforcement order for 182 Groveland Street, and then to have them appear at the next meeting on June 9th.
Okay,
Second?
all right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Chris?
Oh, aye. Sorry.
Okay, it's okay. All right, unanimous. All right, next up, we have 208 Center Ave. Is anyone from that property here? Can you come up to the podium and introduce yourself? So right up here, honey.
you gotta come to this microphone. Yeah, thank you.
Although, won't we just
Yeah, my name is Demosthenes, and I'm here with my wife, Shirley Demosthenes, from 208 Center Ave,
Could you spell your name, please?
ERTZLING.
Thank you. Thank you.
And that's right here, right by Island Grove.
Gotcha. Thank you.
All
This
right,
is a
so,
picture of it too, from actually this morning.
Nick, do you want to describe what
Yeah,
you
what
saw?
There was paving out back. AJ's actually the one who identified it. Paving out back appears to be within 200 feet of the pond edge. That picture is taken from me standing just about the edge of the pavement. You can kind of see it at my feet, and you can see the pond in the background there. If I was to guess, I'd say the pond's probably about 100 feet.
Oh, I thought that was about to lawn chairs.
210 to the
No.
corner of the house. So,
How far was it?
If I was to just guess from standing there, I'd say about 100 feet. The pond isn't on their land, so I didn't walk up to the pond edge.
Oh, okay.
So they've added which property are we looking at? The one on the top, right there?
I think it's this one right
Nope,
here?
one down
next one.
to the right.
Next one? This one?
nope,
Right.
To the right, my other right.
That one.
Your other right, I was gonna
So the
say.
driveway now goes down the right side of the house, and then there's a paved area out back.
And how far is it from the?
I mean,
Less than 100 feet or
Less than
100 feet?
I'd probably guess right around 100,
That's a pond.
but that
so it
again is
carries
just me
200.
eyeballing.
Yeah.
And the pond is not on their land, so I didn't go down to see if the water's, really low from what I'm seeing. I mean, pretty much that picture is my view of it.
Okay. I've technically already signed this, so.
Okay.
Can I see that
Would you
driveway
like to come up
picture?
and explain?
Gene, you mind
What
passing
you
that
were
picture
doing?
deck down to Chris?
This is
Sorry.
it. I got it here.
Would you like to come up and explain what modifications you were making?
Actually, we were,
My pen?
well, we've been there for just a year since we got the house. And so we always have stuff outside, outside kitchen stuff, and then for the kids to play and stuff. So we were just paving this area just for us to just sit outside, grill outside. But so as we paving it that day, and then I think someone came until, I guess Mr. came, and then but the work was already done at that time. But he told me, someone, I don't know, telling they hear the company, the machine, so was hoping it was there before they lay down the pavement in the particular area. So unfortunately, when he came, that was the time there was, living. So then he told us, well, look like you guys a little bit too close to the pond, something like that. I said, well, we didn't know because we just put the pavement there, so we didn't know. They said, well, because if you do, so there was ways, because this something about, forget the name of it, about the area he called
The buffer.
The riverfront,
wetland,
or
so
pond buffer,
yeah,
yep.
and hear about this until, so we say, well, then look like we have to come here and then see what is the next step, since unfortunately it's already been done and he didn't catch it on time to tell these people who was doing it, not to do it because I think we got too close to the area. So that's really.
Is it done now? Oh, sorry.
Oh yes, it's done the same day because it was pavement, really, just pavement. So it was just one day. One day job, was not really something that things was just pavement. So we put we have our swing set and stuff. So all this just to sit down and play around, whatever it is for the kids. That's really the reason why we put that down there.
Yeah, the thing is, the town has a 200-foot buffer
Yes,
for ponds. So anything that you want to do that will change that to be, say, an impermeable surface, or you alter it in some way,
Yes.
that would require you to come before us. If you just wanted to put a swing set somewhere, put some chairs or something. You
On
could,
grass or lawn, it's
yeah,
not a
you could
problem.
definitely do that. That's not even
Yeah,
an issue.
because
but-
also we came from Brockton, so we also own a house in Brockton.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we was not close to the water at that time, so we do pavement in our yard. So just to make sure it's more walkable, whatever it is, instead of leave the grass itself. So then when we came here, we thought, okay, so we're just gonna put the pavement, since we're not gonna build anything, we just the pavement. So until that day, we was informed, nope, we have a 200 buffer zone, so you can't, and then, so as we check, it says around 100, roughly 125, 130 from where to the pond. So, at that time, as I said, it was already, so when the person came and talked to us that day, so we just really okay, said, but you will have to contact the inspector. So the inspector already noticed about it, he's gonna come and see it, and then to come in a meeting as back today. So that's the main reason we are here.
Thank you.
So the patio was new as well? It wasn't just the blacktop, but the paver patio was new too?
The patio?
Yeah, the pavers, you know, the block, you did asphalt driveway. You did an asphalt driveway, they were pavers, like a patio paver? Can you show that picture?
No, there was no patio.
Okay, because it says here.
Just behind the house.
Just
Yeah,
behind.
yeah,
It's like a block patio.
Oh,
and then
yes,
asphalt.
yes.
Yeah.
So that was new too, because it's
Yes.
on your form that you did a patio and the asphalt packing?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. The pavement and the patio are all together.
Okay. This is unfortunate. It happens all the time. As my fellow commissioner pointed out, there is a 200-foot protection area for ponds, lakes. And when you have a home in the area, you need to check with the town to see if there's any problem with paving or putting something in.
But we were doing some other work, which is we already asked for. Because, I mean, if we was informed, because we had to do the basement, so we came here, well, somewhere, and to ask for permit. About, we want to do this, we want to do this.
Yeah, working inside is one thing, but when you alter the outside, when you're in a protected area,
Okay,
that requires maybe a phone call to say, hey, we're putting in a driveway, is this going to be a problem? I mean, I don't know about zoning, I don't know about building, I don't know what the requirements are for driveways or
Okay.
whatever else, but I know when I bought my house, the first thing I did, I went to the town hall and asked, what do I have to do if I want to put a fence up? You know,
Okay.
it's just kind of like a question that you ask.
okay.
But-
Yeah, but also, I came here also before, and even asked.
About putting in the driveway?
No, about fence.
Okay,
I remember I came about, because as I said, we're not familiar with this about
Right.
buffer zone, we don't know anything about that.
Right.
And when I came here, because there was a problem with our neighbor was gonna do something on the lot, so we didn't know where our lot was. We had to do something called survey on the lot. So I remember talk to someone here, and then he told me where to go to do the survey. So it was just, and then I was asking about, but the only thing I heard is about you can build, you can put something about wetland, something. Wait, so that we know which one is really, where is the wetland, or the wetland. So that's pretty much since we get here, we know. So for coming here in Abington, so we really don't know much about what is a buffer zone or anything else. We thought it was just, once we just put in a pavement, it was just, okay. It just, instead of leave the grass, we put the pavement on top of it.
yeah,
That really was
yeah. It's unfortunate, but it would have been better to leave the grass.
Yes,
up.
definitely.
Can I would just say, I mean, if we go down to the core of what the Protection Act is and what the law is really looking for, it's looking for a cumulative impact on the zone.
It is,
I understand he's within the buffer, I get it, and he shouldn't come in front of us, but I think the gentleman made an honest mistake, and is it really impacting anything? No trees were removed, the work is done.
It's like anything else, though, Chris. If we hold one person accountable for damaging a buffer or damaging a wetland, we can't, I mean, when do you stop? When do you stop?
Well, you could also, there's severity and intent is a big part of it.
I don't think anyone
It's
really
also illegal to
intends.
jaywalk. You can arrest everyone for jaywalking too.
Right, but I don't think
He made an
everybody-
honest mistake. It'd be very costly for him to have to go back and.
But
dig that
again,
up.
we're looking at the Conservation Commission, the
It
state
doesn't make
law,
a cumulative
the
impact on
bylaw,
the area.
and the regulations.
Who's it hurting? What's it hurting?
The state law, the bylaw, the regulations.
There's
Read the bylaw.
increase- There's less permeability of the surface, so anything is gonna run off into the neighbors. You've got more opportunity for fluids from cars, machinery to go into the pond. You know, we're spending all this money to make sure we don't have all this invasive species in the pond anymore. So we want to be careful about that. We have had to ask people in the past, you put down pavement, replace it with what you had, that's the state law. We have to go by, that's in the, it's the state law. If you
The state
do
law
something, you
says
have to-
cumulative impact on a resource area.
No, that's the bylaw, that says cumulative impact.
The bylaws are the top end.
And it is, says cumulative impact. The enforcement manual that we have to go by, the state law, says that when you have made an alteration of the property and you have not gotten a permit for it, then you have to restore it back to the original condition.
Do you know how much you pay a year in taxes?
Almost 6,000 or more.
Okay, that's off topic.
It was just
We're
a
focus-
question, Lynn.
No, we're focusing on enforcement, okay? That's the thing. For every single person who's come before us, it doesn't matter who they are, we have said, you did this and we're very sorry and you seem to be a lovely person and I feel very bad for you. I don't think you did it intentionally.
So we let
Rules
them
in
do one after the
Brockton-
fact.
I'm speaking, rules in Brockton are different, you know, even in Brockton about rivers, there's only like 25 feet but in most of the state, it's 200, for example. And Abington just has a difference, a little bit more of a pond buffer than many towns in Massachusetts
That we enacted.
that we have enacted at town meeting. So that's where we are today, is that unfortunately, the cure for this is to put it back to the original condition that you had when you purchased the property.
I would appeal that.
Okay,
I'd go to the state.
okay.
I can't
That-
believe you, I
that's-
can't believe you would make him do that.
That's what we do for everybody,
Okay.
Chris.
Well, not
There's no
everybody.
argument, no. This is what we do for
Okay.
everybody. And I'm very sorry about it, but that's what the law says that we have to do.
Okay. And when you say we, so what is our limit here?
Sorry?
Like what is the,
Can they reduce the patio and the driveway to give the 200-foot protection area?
The
I
patio,
don't know how big it is, I have not been out there, I don't know.
yeah,
Have you been out
the
there?
patio may not be within the 200,
If the patio is not...
might not, I'm not,
Okay,
I'm not
so
sure.
if it's determined from a wetland scientist or someone to be able, or even...
I
for-
think we just have to just measure it.
Yeah, if we can get
And
out,
if it's,
See if you can pull anything
I don't think
just to
you...
the house.
Can you use that tool, you know, the measuring tool from the
Oh, yeah,
pond?
yeah.
Yeah, if you use the measuring tool from the edge of the
hold on
pond,
just a second. I need to move this because that thing gets in my way.
yeah,
There's it.
so,
It's right around there. And is your patio like around in this area? Like where I'm kind of moving my mouse back and forth?
That looks bigger than the patio,
That looks bigger?
in my opinion, yeah.
Okay. All right, so if it's outside the 200, then the patio can stay.
yeah, if it's outside the 200, it's the blacktop, that's the permeable surface, which, you know, if you park cars on there or whatever, and you have company over and they all park in, and you're talking, introducing other stuff into the soils, into the riverfront protection or the pond protection area. So, could you get out there? Possibly?
So it's a neighboring property that the pond's on.
Okay,
So unless I get permission from the neighbor, I can't get to the pond edge.
okay,
Unless I'm boating to it and then
yeah.
throwing a line across to you and then measure from the
Ask a
boat.
question, so even if the property, I mean, it's really, we are really even, can't even see the pond
I
in that
understand,
situation.
I understand
The
that.
pond is really in the other person, not in our. We don't even have access until, now they even put a fence, so we can't even have access to the pond itself, unless they let us in.
Who put up a fence?
No, well, he said he wanted to.
Oh, he wanted to, I see.
No, the
Okay.
No, I believe the
neighbor just
neighbor's
did.
actively putting up a fence.
The neighbor put up a fence?
It'll work.
Bring them in too. Don't start digging it up.
There's an exception within the bylaws for fences.
Who makes that decision, you?
No, it's in the bylaw.
It's in the bylaws.
The same bylaw we're
What,
talking about
well,
the community.
we don't even know
impact?
what the fence looks like, so if the fence,
Blocks what?
if it blocks wildlife, then you can't do it.
So it sounds like it can't just be ignored then. So bring them in.
What is,
Fair is fair.
what does the fence look like? Where is the
They
fence?
just-
Pull it up on Mass
It's not
Mapper.
really, I want to talk about the fence, but it's a white fence, whatever, the vinyl fence. But my say is, it's directly from the pond, which I'm in the other side of the pond. So that's why I'm not, so I cannot even have access to the pond, as I said, if the neighbor doesn't leave me whatever, a gate or something for me to go in the pond.
I understand what you're saying, but having access to the pond doesn't negate the fact that there is a buffer system around that protects that pond. Whether you have access to it or not, it doesn't matter. If it goes across your property, it's on your property. It's an actual, if you could look at the pond, just say in general, from that point to where she put it, there is a protection area. You know, if it was done prior to, if the driveway was done prior to Mass DEP laws that were instituted in 1972, or the River Protection Act, which was done in the 80s, the 90s, there would be no problem. But any current activity does fall under the state regulations.
This is the town bylaw we're in.
Right, but I'm just saying,
Because
we also
it's
have...
that 100
Yeah,
to
the
200
state-
foot pond.
Yeah, we've got the 200 for the pond, but we,
Yeah.
even if state had 100, you know, we still would have to go.
Yeah, I'm
But
not
the
sure if
town
we're
is,
within, I'm not sure if we're within the 100.
right, but I'm just saying that,
Because we even just had one that had come before us that was
Yeah.
across the street
Yep.
from the pond. They had to get approval to build a garage.
yep,
Because even though they weren't next to the pond, they were still within 200 feet going across that lot, across the street, up into their property.
oh, the new fire
we let
station,
them-
the new
we let
fire
them do
station.
that
The
without-
new
without
fire
fire.
station had the same issue, the 200-foot
I would
river
look that up.
protection.
Well, it's because we didn't ask for a permit.
They were allowed to do that. They had a
So
similar
the
situation.
thing is that, and if you are within 200 feet of a pond and you want to do some type of work that's going to alter it, you're dredging, you're bringing in fill or anything like that, changing something to be impermeable surface, that would have required for you to come in and file for a permit and come to us, and we would have either approved it or not approved it.
Or would have pointed out the fact that it needed to be adjusted.
Or, yeah, so, you know, that sort of thing. That would have been the proper path, and then we wouldn't be talking tonight. You know, we would have been talking to you in another way. But the law says that if you don't do that, then what you're supposed to do is put the property back in its original state. And we're not talking about going back to, you know, trees and everything else there. We're talking back to where you had it before you made the alteration. So where it was just grass in that place.
But even to that point, we just need to know where 200 feet is.
That's the important thing, is to
Because
figure out
that's the
200 feet.
point that we just need to know and establish what gets done from that point.
Yeah.
So who's the abutter next door that has the right to the property that Nick would have to access? Is there a way that we could contact them and see if they would be okay for you just to walk
Can't you use
across?
that little laser thing you have?
I mean, it would need something to bounce off of.
I volunteer to kayak.
Stump? Or,
Yeah, if there happens to be something right there.
Yeah.
It's also not as good outside as it is inside, but
okay,
possibly.
okay. Because maybe that could be done, just to get an approximation.
Yeah. Happy to try.
And is the neighbor who put the fence up, the neighbor next to you to the left or the right?
It's 202 Center, to the left of what you're
202 to
looking.
the left,
To the left.
and that's the one that
The one who would have
we'd have
access to
to
the
have
pond.
access to, okay.
Can I ask just why this one came in front of us and not the fence one? How was this referred to us?
I think, AJ, you noticed it.
Yep, I saw a triaxle in the backyard up
You missed
against,
the fence though, AJ?
the fence went in yesterday.
All right, just
The
checking.
fence just went in yesterday.
I'm just
Chris.
checking when you're doing your rounds around town. Make sure you're catching everybody.
I'm
That's
not
all.
doing rounds,
Okay,
Chris. I
let's
was
stop.
hoping to catch them before
AJ,
any
okay?
issues
I
happen.
just
Stop.
asked something for the record.
No, you're accusing me of making rounds around town.
Well, you,
Okay, stop it. Now. Let's keep focused on what's going on here. All right, we need to have some sort of,
All right, why don't we ratify the enforcement order? Or I'll make a motion to ratify the enforcement order. I will also recommend that if there is a way for Nick to be able to access the property of,
That's fine.
I'm sorry, I can't pronounce it, Ertzling,
That's fine, the most.
Ertzling, Demont. Okay.
Yeah.
Your property, to be able to measure it so we can see what needs to be adjusted if, to
my
make you
property
in,
is
to make
easy.
you in compliance.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, you know, unfortunately, we deal with issues like this all the time. We've had people cut down wetlands and they didn't realize it and they had to put them back. You know, it's cost them a lot of money too. And unfortunately, these things happen. If there was a way to get out to the public before you do anything in your yard, call the building department, find out if you got a wetland. But there's no way that we can notify every single person in town to avoid situations like this. Unfortunately, it falls on the homeowner. You didn't know, a lot of people don't know, and this is how it all happens. If you noticed the hearing before you, or the couple of hearings before you had been called up, that gentleman did not know he had encroached further and further and further. And you can see the encroachments over the periods of time, because we have the ability to look on Mass Mapper and see historical imagery of when something was done, how it's changed, when it was changed, and we can verify everything that way. We don't go looking for it, but if we see it, we can't ignore it. What applies to one applies to all. And my hat goes out to you, because I know exactly what you've gone through and how much it's cost you. I'm sure it's cost you a lot, but, you know, we deal with this all the time. I wish there was a better way for us to get the information out to homeowners.
I have one more question. So my question is, for example, if, I mean, as I said, AJ, Mr. AJ already came that day.
Yes.
So, I mean, I have to say, when he told me I need to come here to the town,
Yes.
but if he already knew what was gonna happen, so what not just right there say, well,
Because we
this
can't,
is-
we have to have the commission,
No single commissioner has any authority. They only have it as a board together.
right.
one person can sign that form that you received, but then it has to come here at a meeting, and we have to agree to it and get a majority of the commission to vote that yes, this should be an enforcement order. So even though one person, anybody on the commission can sign one, it still needs to be ratified. And so that's what he was talking about.
Okay.
Can we leave this one up too?
Yes, I am.
Good.
I think if you guys are voting to ratify it, a couple of amendments need to be made.
Okay?
One for action. Currently, all that's in there is coming to the meeting tonight. There's no other requirement of it.
Okay.
So if it's find that 200 foot and return to grass, anything outside of that. And then, I don't know if you guys want to name the paving company as a violator on this, as well as the property owner. That is an option you have.
Really? Did not know that.
They're the ones who committed the violation, which the act does call for that.
Yep.
They can get a little messy to track down and stuff. This one had a paving company sign out front that said Phoenix Paving.
Yes,
So I would hope that
I would hope
possibly Phoenix Paving might help with some of the cost of
deferring
this.
the cost, yeah.
Because you shouldn't be paving when you're over looking at the water and feeling the wind on your face from the pond. You should know better.
Yeah.
Like most of these tree companies, pavement companies, I think they all know better, but their hope is they're in and out in a day and they're gone. And the check clears.
Thank you.
Yeah, you can add them.
All right.
That's my suggestion, is to add them.
So whoever makes the motion, I would.
Was it Phoenix
All right,
Paving?
so
Yes,
I'll make a motion to ratify the enforcement order with the following action items, that a visit to be made out to this location to hopefully measure the 200-foot buffer for the pond, and to also notify the paving company, Phoenix Paving, of their responsibility
okay.
in this action.
Can I get a second?
Second?
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Okay, 3-1 vote passes.
Thank you.
All right. We're gonna bump up the next one to enforcement order for 22 Helm Street. So, Mr. Noonan's here.
Is that the one I know?
You are not signing a yes, no, you are signing recognizing the commission voted it through. And we'll save me from having to chase down a fourth signature, Chris, so I appreciate it.
I'm sorry, what?
Oh, yes, you're all set to
You can
leave.
stay if you like, but you don't have to. Yeah, thank you.
Good evening. I'm here on the update for the enforcement order, March 2nd, 2026. And what it so states here is clearing of vegetation, adding fill, storage of equipment, storage of vehicles, and storage of snow delivered off from off-site. The snow was removed, and an email from Nick dated 3/17, so stated that. It also states here that the removal of the vehicles inside the 100-foot buffer zone. We are outside the 100-foot buffer zone. That was established in a conservation meeting on February 24th, 2020, signed by 4 commissioners with a request for determination. And so that way we're working inside the, outside the 100-foot buffer. Everything is done. I did all the, I came before the board back then and got the determination signed by 4 conservation commissioners. And also, I gave Nick a file for all you people stating that I am outside on lot 61 through 63 and 65. A letter from the FEMA, so states I am outside the FEMA floodplain zone. So I think that the enforcement order can be revoked. No, yeah, revoked.
So you had an RDA for cutting down trees.
Cutting down trees and filling in the
stumps,
So
yeah.
that was in the, I gave Nick a copy of the minutes of that meeting.
Right. I didn't see anything from FEMA.
FEMA, I gave that to Nick.
We had something about
That's a letter dated back to 2009, that the property is outside the determination.
We got a letter from town council about whether it was in a residential or business district.
That was, we had grandfathered on the industrial zone in that property. That's a letter from the town council. But FEMA has sent a letter, I'll show it to you.
Sure.
These two parcels are outside the FEMA floodplain, dated back to 2009.
When did you buy the last parcel?
3 out of 4 parcels are out of the floodplain.
3 of the 4?
3.
Four,
Was it 4 out of 5?
4 out of 5.
Gotcha. The newest parcel is not.
The newest parcel is not in the floodplain.
Is in the floodplain.
It is in the floodplain.
Correct.
The older
No,
parcels
the new
are
parcel's
not.
outside the buffer that we're working in.
No, we're asking.
Two
about-
separate things, floodplain and buffer zone.
Right.
The newest parcel is in the floodplain.
Okay.
The old parcels were
What was
out.
the parcel
Which-
number? That's
Yes, I have this right here.
Okay.
I didn't give this to you, this is what we're working on right now. The shaded areas are, according to FEMA, that letter. The shaded areas are outside the buffer. Okay, the FEMA floodplain.
Okay, so
and the
all
air-
of these,
All those are outside.
but not
That-
64.
Yeah, but we're only talking about where the X's are right now, and we're working on getting an updated letter.
Mike, can you just come,
To include, sorry.
you just gotta speak at the microphone, thank you.
We're working right now to get an updated letter to include where the X's are on that piece of paper to, as you can see that 65 is well outside the FEMA floodplain, and once the letter is established, 64 will probably be included in that, but FEMA is not the fastest people to deal with.
And you had an NOI in 2008. Where was that on here? You were supposed to build a sports arena?
Yes.
Do you know what lot that was gonna be on? Or lots?
The building was actually going to be 61 through 63, and parking was going to be 65.
Okay. I'm gonna pass these down to you. So 2008, you had that approved, but you didn't do the work. You didn't get
Yeah,
a
it was
COC.
Financial situation.
Sure. Okay. And then we had asked,
Then I bought the land, number 64, and I came in front of the board and got a request for determination, even though I knew I was under the 100-foot floodplain, 100-foot buffer with the area I was going to be working in. The entire property is not outside the 100-foot. Where I was going to be working was outside the 100-foot buffer. And so that was determined, and then I got the IDA approved and signed off. And then I went and asked to get some more a fill permit, and with that being stated, I did get the permit for the fill and so forth from the planning board, just to level off and so forth. And the DEP, Greg DeCesar and another gentleman came and walked it and suggested that if I did anything else, that I should go after a new RDA or a notice of intent to do any more work from what I had already established and done. And I just decided to stop working there. It's just, I'm not really doing anything, so I haven't done anything since 2020.
all right, so, and then you gave us a delineation.
Yes, I
Plan, but
did
that
that I didn't have to, but in talking with Greg DeCesar, I had a delineation done, and I have given that to the board, and I think Nick gave it to everybody.
Yeah,
That's
they're all
yours, I
full.
believe. Yeah.
Here's on you.
Do we have his delineation?
The
No?
delineation.
That got emailed to all of you.
Oh,
Okay.
all right.
I didn't get print copies, so
No, I got it.
I have one copy if you wanna pass it around, anything like that.
This is it.
Yeah, and that shows, and I actually sent one of those copies down to Greg DeCesar from
Oh, this is it.
DEP, and he actually said it was a good job and well done. And that
firmly established that I was outside.
But you were supposed to file an NOI or RDA.
A new RDA
For the
for-
work that you had done.
For the work I have done, I filed an RDA.
But he noticed, there's somewhere that I saw that he said he noticed that there had been, you had a 2008 certificate of, you had a 2008 order of conditions. There
I just
were-
gave Mike that email,
Hold on.
if you want to give him
Oh,
a chance to
okay.
read it.
Okay,
Okay.
yes, what happened was that Greg DeCesar and another fellow, White, I forget his last name.
Bill
They came-
White?
They came down and walked it, and they suggested if I was going to do anything further, that I would get them either a new RDA or a notice of intent. And that's when I just stopped the work. I just haven't done any more. And that was dated, 2000.
Because he's saying, this is what he said. I got this email that was sent.
This is 2008.
Yeah, so this email was sent on May 20th to me. It was sent to Bill Creighton, who forwarded it to me. I'm familiar with the site and some of the permitting history. An SOC was issued in 2008 under this file number for the construction of a sports arena. After years of litigation, the project was never completed as proposed. The owner/applicant requested a certificate of compliance on the SOC, claiming the work was never completed. Upon inspection, it was obvious that the building had never been constructed. However, the site was not in its original pre-construction condition, and the COC request was denied. I did recommend that the wetlands were redelineated. The report that you provided us, Mr. Noonan, here, from the arborist, looks reasonably well put together, but I did not confirm the accuracy of the delineation. It was my understanding at the time that the applicant would be submitting a new notice of intent to perform work within the buffer zone of the site. I don't know the outcome of that
Right.
finally.
And there was no other work has been done, so there's been no notice of intent that was needed. And I did that delineation and had that wetlands delineation done just to have it on file.
But I
But
think-
since
I'm sorry.
Greg DeCesar was there, I've done nothing.
Right, so, but he says, however, the site was not in its original pre-construction condition, and the COC request was denied, so that implies there had been work that had been done.
I don't understand what you're asking. We're talking about an enforcement order.
That's right.
Yeah?
And what he is saying is that when he visited, he noticed the site was not, it's an original pre-construction condition. So
It
they
had been
didn't-
altered.
Well,
It
yeah,
had been
the-
altered.
The site was always what it is. Nothing's been, there's no building put up, there's been nothing done. It was just open land and storage of vehicles and so forth. In
Okay,
other words, the building never got put up because of financial reasons.
yeah,
So those plans just, I would have to file another notice of intent to do anything on that land.
right.
So that's all gone. The land is original from when I bought it in 1996, just open space and
Okay,
storage.
Let's go to 1990s. So you bought it in
I think I bought it in 96.
1990s. And we have, oops, what I wanted. Property tax parcels. Okay, this is what the lot looks like today, in terms of the design. Let me turn this, sorry, this thing off. Okay. Did you get any permits to do any work on this site besides the trees being cut and the sports arena being built?
I got everything signed to do all the work on the property, yeah.
Well, I mean, no, my question is that you had a delineation, or, sorry, you had an NOI that was approved
Yes,
2008 for a sports arena.
yes.
Didn't happen for the reasons that you mentioned. so you had that approval, but there had been work that was done that didn't have an NOI.
The NOI was to do the building, so I got the NOI, and the lot, I don't understand what you're asking. I went through the process of doing all the engineering and so forth to have the lot, so I could have it cleared, put up a building, and it was cleared before the building went up. No, there was no building that went up, but it was cleared before I don't understand what you're asking. I went through the process of getting the permits and so forth to do it. It just never got done.
Okay, no, what I mean is, I'm talking about all this, the boats and everything that are on there.
Yes.
That wasn't there in the 90s, right? You said that was all trees when you bought it? Did you have a permit?
It was all cleared lot. It was just a cleared lot.
Did you have a permit to clear the lot?
That's why I went and did all the engineering.
Yeah, but I mean, but you didn't actually do the work that you were gonna do.
We got the permits, we started, and there was no money. So you're having a hard time understanding. We went through the whole process, got the engineering done, went through planning, went through zoning, went through everything. Okay, started to do the work, the loan fell through.
So what part of the work did you do for,
We just cleared the lot.
so you cleared the lot?
Cleared the lot, made it ready to start building.
Okay.
There was no fill brought in?
Just enough to keep it, what do you call it? So we could work on it, yeah, that's,
So did you have to go to planning for the fill permit
that
or
was all
anything?
part of the permit, that we,
I'm
I
just
spent
asking,
$134,000 to get this ready to do it, and now for some reason, you're trying to ask me questions about something happened back in 2009?
I'm just trying to
Yes,
understand the
there was still brought
process.
in to level it. Of course, we
So,
started the project. This is we started the project.
Right.
Removed trees, got everything leveled, getting ready to go.
Right.
No money. The
Okay.
project stopped. And the land is exactly the same.
So the NOI, you didn't do anything with it, so you could close it out by doing a COC, because nothing took place
Nothing
there.
took place, that's right.
Except now you're using it for open lot storage.
Which is permitted by the town because it's industrial zone and grandfather. There's a letter in there from the lawyer, yes. There's nothing being done, it's all regulatory, it's all got permission, it's all in the zoning.
All right. So now I'm going to ask if you can just put the overlay in for DEP wetlands, because I'm looking at your delineation that you had Daniel Cathcart do, that you submitted to us, correct?
That's for another piece of property. I don't know which one you're talking, are you talking about,
Okay.
you talking about the original 2009, or you talking about the next?
This was done in 2020?
That was done in 2020 for lot number 64.
Okay. So, can you just do the overlay for me? Because I'm just kind of curious, because I'm
This is
trying
the
to...
overlay.
That is the overlay?
Yeah.
Then can,
And I think this area right here, I don't know if you can see that's where those trees were cut that you had gotten approved?
That was what it was approved for by the
For
RDA,
the
yes.
tree cutting, okay. Because Nick and I went out there
okay.
and,
Yep.
the other day.
And again,
got
I
it.
didn't have to go through the process, but I did because I was on the board at the time. So that's why I got the RDA. And it was approved, signed off. Everything was done the way it should be.
But Greg DeCesare said to do this, to have a delineation done. And
He
so,
suggested it, so I had it done, yes.
Yeah, okay.
And then I sent a copy to him just to show him, for no other reason, but just to show him that it was done, and he said it was a fine job, and everything was in order.
but he didn't confirm the accuracy of it. Because that's what the commission would do. That's under the commission's domain.
I stopped doing the work, I only had it done to prove that I was outside the 100-foot buffer. That's why it was done.
Right,
But
but you
the
didn't,
the IDA had already been approved on that I was outside the 100-foot buffer.
okay, so, but you didn't give this to the commission and let the commission make a decision about whether that's
I was
accurate?
doing no more work. I stopped doing the work.
But-
I ceased and desisted myself.
What I'm seeing here, though, is he's saying the site's not in original condition. He asked you to do a delineation so we can know the true extent rather than what we're seeing on this Mass GIS, which can be inaccurate. I guess I'm not really,
I don't know where we're going with this. I did everything.
we're just trying to understand what's happening here.
So am I.
So in the original order of conditions, when he pulled the NOI and the RDA, he cleared, was any stabilization done? Any buffers meant to be put in place? Because if it called for silt fence would still be in place now because it hadn't been closed. Am I wrong with that understanding of it?
That should be correct.
That would be correct. Silt fence can't be removed until the COC is issued.
Right, so if there was no COC issued, this is still a construction site.
It's open.
Right, it's open
And it expired.
and it's expired as well.
Correct.
But was any stabilization done, any buffers put in, any drainage accounted for? If it was just cleared and filled, we have no idea if it matched the engineering that he spent all the money to be done on it.
But I'm outside the 100-foot buffer, the work that was done. That's what and that was determined. I'm outside the 100-foot buffer. All the work was done.
I recall briefly looking at the 2008 delineation, and it showed there was wetlands lining much closer than what was.
No, you're wrong, because I don't know where I have it here. I might have it, yes I do. It's almost identical.
Because wasn't the overlay now like right on that property line?
Can you go to the map and just not, instead of having the,
Yeah. You mean with this?
because
I thought we were just talking about the snow in a certain area. Why we're going back to 2008 is beyond me, but we'll go with it.
well,
Hold on. Okay, here's the 2000, whenever this was done. Here's the wetlands down here. Here's the piece of property. Here is where the original was, and here's where I just did the work. This is the small little 50 feet right here. But here's the original wetlands. The new wetlands, which I had done again, is about the same exact spot.
Where exactly is, thank you.
This is the original sports building. This is the end of my property to the 63. This is number 60, property 64. Here are the flag wetlands right here.
So is this part of your property, right here?
This is the
line?
new property right here.
That's the new property,
And here, this is 65.
yeah.
Down
So
here.
you have wetlands on the new property?
The new property,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, okay. So you've wetlands,
This
and
is
how
out-
far
when I
away,
was working outside the 100-foot buffer.
how far away is that from the work that you've done?
Oh, 200.
Because that
feet.
looks, if this is your property line,
No, here's I don't know where the property line goes as far as this one goes. This is, again, this belonged to Joseph Amano at the time,
yeah.
not me.
So it goes down.
But this has nothing to do with this. I'm just showing you this because I have it, but this has nothing to do with what we're talking about today. Today we're talking about something different with a new ordinance report and everything else to show that we're outside the 100-foot buffer, because wetlands do change.
So if you look at how that goes, there's this line, okay, so it goes down like that. And this is where the wetlands are.
yeah. So,
But you're talking about we're working over here. This is what you're talking about today.
I'm looking at, in Mass Mapper, you can see this line here.
Yes.
And the delineation shows the wetlands going in here.
The wetlands are down here.
I'm looking at your plan.
Yeah, and that's
The plan
it.
shows
It's the same thing. But this
it's
plan goes
down
back
here.
to 2008. That plan is the delineation that is right
Yeah, I
there.
know,
That's-
I know
That's the
that.
most recent.
But I want to compare an actual, so, let's talk about this delineation. You should probably go back to the podium with all your things there.
I'm here for an enforcement order, not something. that
This
goes
is
back
an
to
enforcement
2008.
order because our conservation agent noticed not just the snow, but also that there was fill as well. And so we're trying to figure out what's going on, like what the history was and what was happening. That's all we're trying to do right now.
Okay, there was snow, first of all, the snow was dumped, and it was by my tenant, it was removed right away, my daughter came up. And then, the other thing was, as far as working, the cars and so forth that were asked about, they're outside the 100-foot buffer. So that is what is the enforcement order is about. And then the next thing is the FEMA floodplain. The FEMA floodplain is the map I just showed you right there, and I'm getting it determined that the next portion of number 64 will be outside the FEMA floodplain, which I showed you the shaded part. It's going to be an automatic, because the shaded part will take in the part that we're talking about as far as the cars and so forth.
So in terms of this delineation that you provided to us, it was done by an arborist and not a wetland scientist?
It was, I just got the guy's name from somebody else that had him work in the town also.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was just
I mean,
curious because I'd
I
never
just-
heard of him
I found
before,
him through
but
somebody else that had
Sure.
used him in town.
I was looking him up because I hadn't heard of him, and I looked him up on LinkedIn, and he's got,
Well-
qualifications out the wazoo for different arborist things, but I didn't see anything about any wetlands whatsoever. There's not even MACC certification. There's nothing about wetlands in here.
But
there's
the
a-
idea was that this was done, and this is why I sent it to CSAT too,
Yeah,
to make sure that it showed that I was working outside the 100-foot buffer.
but Greg is not going to be the person who makes that determination, and he even said I did not confirm the accuracy of the delineation.
Well,
They're always gonna-
this determines it.
Well, no, the
His letter that he
commission
sent
makes
us.
a determination of whether this is accurate. We look at the evidence and the commission makes that
I
determination.
know what you're looking at, but with this.
I'm
Again,
looking
it
at
was
something,
determined that I was outside the 100-foot buffer. I followed up by having this done by Plant Healthcare Consultants, okay? Now, obviously, he can find wetlands because he flagged it.
he flagged it in this really weird way. It's like he took a protractor
I know.
and drew a circle, and then on one side, almost perfectly, on each side of this semicircle is wetlands versus not wetlands. I mean, we don't have no elevations.
It was to
No
flag the
topography.
wetlands. Please, again, it was to flag the wetlands to make sure that I was working outside the 100-foot buffer. That's the reason for it.
Yeah, but you
I'm not doing,
can't,
it wasn't for a notice of intent, it wasn't to do any engineering, it was to show that I was working, to follow up on the RDA, that I was working outside the 100-foot buffer. I don't know what's so difficult about this. You can look at me all you want, but I don't understand what's so difficult about it.
when you were here on the commission, just as.
Yes.
Okay. If someone had submitted this for an NOI, would you have accepted it?
I wasn't looking for an NOI.
Right, and I'm just saying, as a delineation, would you have
I would-
accepted this?
That's, to
You would have
show,
got-
to show that it's outside the 100-foot buffer, yes, we would probably accept it.
That is not how
Maybe,
plans are submitted to us.
this is just to take trees down now, we're not putting up buildings, we're not putting in drainage.
The site was not in original condition, that's what he's talking about, and he noticed that fill had been brought in, and that's why he wanted the delineation done, to see, well, what was the true extent of the wetlands.
The fill was okayed by the commission at the time to be brought in to fill in where the stumps were pulled.
Right, that I saw,
Yes.
But he would, so, I would not accept this delineation.
Well, number
You don't
one,
have to, I'm not doing anything. There's no
That's what
notice of
I'm saying, is that
intent. This was a backup of the 100-foot buffer, outside the 100-foot buffer. And again, I sent it down, he actually looked at it, he sent me an email and said, very well done. And that was, this is just for a record. I have not touched that property since the day that the DEP, Greg DeCesar, and I think his name was Whitehead, came, and then I said, no, you know, I'm just numbered. And I haven't done a thing since 2020, or whenever it was.
So, if I'm reading this right, as far as enforcement order goes, issues have been corrected, the snow dump is gone. We don't know Phil. Unfortunately, we're back into that historical zone of things not handled the best way it should be. We're gonna go in circles completely. We look historical mass mapper, it's not like it's showing wetlands on the property, unless I'm incorrect and you have something else.
I mean, I don't, wait, where is it?
Because Mass Mapper shows everything outside of the property line. I have no question of,
DEP wetland general.
I know, it's just not allowing me to do what I want to do.
you're zoomed in too close, you just gotta zoom out a little to,
No.
You gotta move it up over the
I know,
areas.
it's just not allowing me to
Do we have the actual
actually
enforcement
do
order
it.
wording?
Yes.
yep.
It's not allowing me, let me start over.
Thank you.
Maybe that'll help. Sometimes when you
Also,
share your
you move the
screen.
town
I know.
Inside the 100-foot buffer. There's no 100-foot buffer, I'm outside.
Right, and that was my question all along with this property, even when your daughter was here, is where is the buffer?
I'm outside the 100-foot buffer.
Right,
That
and
was
that's-
established, right?
Given open NOI is a completely separate,
I don't have an NOI,
what's open on the property then?
an RDA.
That you never received, it's expired and,
The NOI was never closed out.
so there is an
The
NOI.
order of conditions was never closed out.
Okay, so there's an expired NOI on the property that never closed out.
That was for the original back in 2008, 10, and 12.
Okay.
Whatever, yeah.
So that is something that just needs to get properly handled, because if you ever go sell the property.
I didn't do the job, so I never asked for a certificate of compliance. It's my own fault for never following up.
No, and that's something we're starting to work our way through, because they keep popping up when people go
This
to.
is
The top where the
also
tiles
from
are, and just go
DEP.
2025.
The DEP took over the whole project, so I have to file with the DEP.
Okay, yeah, because we
The
keep,
town of Abington,
And
because
it
of
disappears. I
some
hate
other
that it
reasons.
does that.
I know, it's hard to see.
All right, so you can see it briefly.
right, so whatever it is to,
So you measured from,
What I'm trying to do is just get this enforcement order closed out.
right,
This one is,
right, because the snow was piled in the upper corner next to the building.
Correct?
okay.
Obviously, the snow was causing runoff issues.
Oh, that
Right.
was actually removed right away.
Right.
It was graded and,
this is
it's
50.
since been cleaned up.
Okay, so let's make a note of that
Property
after he
needed to be
finishes
cleaned up
talking.
some, so.
That definitely is not 50 feet when you're on site.
You're not 50 feet?
The fill's right up against the wetland in that corner.
Okay.
Okay.
And
So
I
this is
haven't
just-
active open water.
Right, I
on a lot
haven't
of
stepped
wetland
foot on the
sections.
property, so I can't,
Right.
Nick went back out there and saw open water. Was that behind where the trees were cut down, back here?
So lot 64, the new parcel, where the trees are cut down, that line you're seeing is probably pretty accurate in my unprofessional opinion. You know, you go through maybe 50 feet of clear cut and then probably 50 feet of shrub, and then you start getting into more of a wetland area. At the kind of the northeast corner of the property, which is the area the snow was in, that is fill right up against water.
That property has been like that since I bought it. Just, I didn't.
A lot of it looks fresh. there's runoff, the channeling through the fill, things like that. There's piles of fill in that corner, like active stockpiles that they're using. That area would be more my concern.
All right. My concern also, just with what you just said, Nick, is the fact that looking at the overlay from Mass Mapper of the wetlands and with the storage of the snow, it's that close. And then you just look at the whole entire site where the boats are, and I think briefly you just measured it and it came to like 52 feet off the wetlands. Are those boats still there?
Yes.
So you're 50 feet off a wetland?
No, we're not.
According to this, you are.
That's the property line.
No, it's not. If you look at the yellow X's, that's all wetland. And she just measured with the ruler up there from Mass Mapper to go from where that boat is to where those yellow lines are. It was 59 or 60-something feet.
Where are you seeing wetland?
All right.
Right down here.
See the little X's? I don't know if you can go up and point to them, Nick. Can you show them?
It's kind of difficult to see on that.
It is difficult,
very
but if you
difficult.
walk closer, Mr. Noonan, you'll see there's a bunch of little X's. See that? Those are all the wetlands.
Although, where the boats are, that's much farther away than 100 foot.
According to, if you take this little key on Mass Mapper, you can pinpoint from the edge of that wetland to the end of that boat, it's 69 feet.
Well, that was approved to put up the original, when it was cleared, that was approved to use that land. Originally cleared, and going back to 2008 or whenever it was finally approved,
Did the plan involve drainage structures?
the plan involved the building.
Yep, with
Right
drainage.
Oh, yeah, drainage, drainage over here.
Was the drainage installed?
No, there's a house there, there's a house there.
Okay. So the fill got brought in, but the drainage system didn't get installed.
So that's
There's a
why,
house where the drainage was gonna go. There's a house up there, still there.
So the fact still remains, though, even though,
What happened to us discussing the enforcement order?
well, we're talking about the enforcement order where the snow was, but then when you bring up the site and you look at the whole site, unfortunately, we're looking at more issues.
There can't be any more issues. This was approved to be done for a project back in 2008. It's been all cleared, and it's zoned to have that storage there.
Can you go to, no, I don't even want to go any further on this right now. I just feel that there needs to be a new delineation of this wetland because there's a lot going on this site.
Delineation,
The delineation here that you gave us is from 2020. It's only good for 3 years, so this
that
is
was...
6 years old.
That's also is a different piece of property than what you're pointing out right now where those boats are.
Okay, so what about up there where the snow storage was?
Excuse me?
What about where the snow storage was?
Snow was up close to that building at the top of the screen.
Right, and you look and see where the wetland delineation line is, and Nick said he was out there and he said he
Yeah.
saw it was pushed right up to the wetlands. So you're gonna need to, I mean, in my opinion, I would want to see a new delineation done on this property to see exactly where the wetlands are now. That's my opinion.
That was all done, it was all done and approved by DEP, with DEP numbers way back in 2008. It's,
And wetlands change, and we know that.
wetlands do change, but...
Yes, they
but
do.
the idea is this property hasn't changed one bit. The property's been like that since before I bought it.
Did Nick just say when he was out there, he saw fill where the snow was?
That's just that's the way the property is. There is no fill, there's boulders and so forth there, yes.
Okay.
It's being used with the same thing as used across the street with the Gioso is.
Well, I would like to know what my fellow commissioners seem to feel.
I'd like to get back to the enforcement order.
I would too.
Well, when you went out there, you noticed Phil, and that was part of the enforcement order, right?
Yep.
So fill is part of the enforcement order. It's not just snow. You remove the snow,
Yes.
but it also mentions fill.
Excuse
And
me?
so the enforcement order mentions fill. And so that's now why we got rid of the snow. We don't have to worry about that issue anymore, but we're still talking about the fill, because that's what Nick noticed when he went out there, and that is on the enforcement order, and that's what we're trying to figure out what's
There's no fill
happening.
brought in. This is used as a construction site to bring in different material and bring material out. It is not being filled in.
The 3 pictures on here, the bottom of that hill is open water. You can see kind of the fill's got a lot of roots and branches and stuff in it. It's got kind of little run-throughs of drainage and stuff, which usually doesn't happen over a long period of time. It's usually when it's kind of being established in site, in my opinion. Also, some of the other pictures, you'll see large stockpiles of fill right up against that back edge of the wetland, kind of near where the excavator is in that picture.
Pushed over trees.
Oh,
And again, that property that you're looking at there, I bought that exactly the way it is right now.
wow. I'm going to say, Mr. Noonan, that looking at these photographs that Nick took of where the snow storage was, that you had a tenant using for whatever, it clearly shows that this fill has fallen over trees and roots sticking up through it. And to me, that looks like something that hasn't been there forever and ever. Have you seen these photographs?
I know what the property looks like, yes.
Well, I mean, clearly, this has not been something that's been there for years and years and years. I mean, it's pushed right up to the trunk of the tree. So, I tend to believe what Nick see, and these photographs are proving that there's fill in here. How it was brought in, whether your tenant brought it in and you weren't aware of it, I don't know. But this is clearly, to me,
Yeah.
I mean, I've not been out on the site, I don't know.
So, I mean, I'd be fine pushing a motion to amend the enforcement order of the snow aspect, but obviously the fill, it needs to be addressed.
The fill, yeah. I mean,
We also have a neighbor, a butter here, who I think wants to speak as well.
Gee, do you want to just work those back down and go back?
sure, I'm sorry.
No, all good.
I didn't see those. That's crazy.
You can sit down over here, Mr. Noonan. You can sit. Thank you.
My name is Wayne Creighton, 53 Vineyard Road. You notice the property, it's flat, it's level currently, and there's been talk about fill. When you first went to the Conservation Commission, he asked for fill to fill in for tree stumps removal. We heard that again tonight. But it was quite more fill than that. In the Planning Board's August 3rd, 2020 meeting, we discussed in there, Mr. Noonan representing himself, that he has already brought in 240 yards of fill. You know, like add an additional 400 yards of fill. Well, it's not a hill there, it's flat. So it was to bring the property up to be flat and level. And then there's another letter that I received from the Abington Conservation Commission, from the Vice Chairman, Russell Forsythe, dated August 4th, 2020. It says, according to Mr. Noonan, he told me he has dumped 230 to 240 yards of material, and the planning board has given permission for him to fill in the rest of the designated area on a 3-2 vote. In the meeting, he stated 15 feet maybe, with other areas being less. So 15 feet of fill, and it's level now. Brought him 640 cubic yards of fill. And we're talking about land abutting the wetlands. And you saw the pictures there. So it wasn't what originally was stated at the first conservation meeting where he said he was just going to fill in stumps. It's 15 feet of fill in some areas, stated by this board's vice chairman at the time. And that has altered the way the water flows in the area. We noticed in our backyards, myself and my neighbors, we're getting a lot more water than we did previously than the 640 cubic yards of fill. 640 cubic yards of fill, that's a lot. That's an incredible amount, and that's going to change things, especially with all the wetlands in this area here. And I haven't seen those pictures, but I believe it's probably, yeah, what you're saying, it's spillage into the wetland area.
Nick, can you show him those pictures?
Yeah, it's, this is the 640 cubic yards of fill. That's about all I have right now. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
The 240 yards of fill was an estimate. The additional 400 was never brought in. Never, I got permission to have it, it was never brought in. So there was not 600 and some odd yards of fill. If you do any kind of this work as a living, which I did my whole life, a front yard to put in loam, 4 inches of loam, that's gonna take 150 yards of loam. It's not a lot. That's why the town has approved, I think, 250 yards without getting permission of fill, loam, anything like that. It's not a lot. That's just to make that. And also, as far as his wetlands go, he got wet after they put in the house at the end of Vineyard Road. And in order for my property to make water onto his property, he would have to go uphill to go downhill. That's just fact. So, if we could just get back to this, would be great.
Yeah, the fill's already on it,
I
right?
know, yeah.
So I think the most we could do tonight is ratify the order to eliminate the snow.
And to add,
Well, it's already on there.
is it,
Delineation.
and a delineation? We don't know. I mean, Nick said it was right up to the water.
Yeah, and that's,
I think you're right. That's all we can do tonight.
all right. So we've already heard public. Anybody else, anything?
I think I've said what I had to say. I mean, obviously, those pictures tell a story, and clearly it can see. If it was pushed right up to the water, we don't know where the wetland line is.
Right, we don't know. That could just be vernal pools, or
I doubt
it
it.
could be wetlands up against it. We know. Yeah, we really need a true flag delineation, full points off of.
Yeah, we do.
Okay, so we're gonna ratify the oh, we already ratified it.
Yeah, it's been
Yeah, it's already ratified.
Oh, so
So amend it,
I think we'll amend it.
so we still are requiring the wetlands delineation by a professional wetland scientist. And what date do we want to have this by? We typically give 60 days, but that was from the time of the first order.
What would be reasonable?
Do 30 days or 60?
45?
60, I'd go with 60.
I do
I
45.
don't hear some. what am
I would
saying?
say 60, just
Trying
to
to
be
sort of-
generous.
The delineation,
especially we
how
don't
long
know
till the delineation?
What the summer's gonna look like for everything, for,
Yeah.
All right.
so let's.
We
get
gotta
that.
speak up, Mr. Noonan can't hear us.
So we're trying to determine how many days you have to get the delineation into us. Or your.
So that's just another botanist, just get a botanist in?
Not a botanist, a wetlands scientist. Yes.
Delineation, okay, wetlands, whatever, okay.
In,
Where do you find a wetland scientist?
Okay, I think we could,
Many,
We're not allowed to recommend.
there's many of them out
Give me
there
a
though.
list.
Just Google it,
There's some,
Google it. Just go online, type it in to Google, you'll find them.
Yeah. There's a
So what
lot.
you're looking for them to flag the wetlands again?
Yes.
Why can't I use a botanist?
Okay, you can use a botanist, but the botanist is just going to be looking at vegetation. We'll also need other indicators of hydrology and soil data. Soil data is actually the better. So you want to get someone who can handle all three of those aspects, because that's what you need for a delineation.
And that's been state law for the last how many years?
yeah, you
That's
definitely,
been in the recommendation
What-
for a long time, but in 2022, that came out as the official policy for DEP for doing delineations, is that you have to have those three different
So.
buckets, I
So
guess.
that the property hasn't changed any since at least 2020. But it was the same as it was when I bought it. That we were talking about next to the Whitman Body Works there. And so now you're asking me to get a wetland scientist to do a delineation. I'm not gonna do any more work there. Why are you asking me to do this? I don't understand.
Because of where the snow storage was.
Yes.
And Phil was observed by our conservation agent, and he brought pictures back to us, which shows it was right up to the water. That is making us believe that there needs to be a new delineation by a wetland scientist. In 2022, DEP requires the three categories: hydrology, soil, and vegetation must be included in a delineation. That's by DEP recommendations in 2022.
All right, we'll go with that.
Thank you.
60 days, excuse me, 60 days?
60 days, will that be sufficient enough for you to be able to?
I've never had to do it.
Okay, so basically all you have to do, if you have Google, just go in and Google wetland scientist, Southeast Massachusetts, and you'll get a list of different people.
Okay.
All right,
call it July 31st.
July 31st.
Yeah,
It's just over 60, but I find it's easier to put a date.
yeah. July 31st sounds good. Okay, so we have to amend the enforcement order
Accordingly,
accordingly.
yes.
So can I get a motion?
Motion to adjust the enforcement order accordingly based on our discussions with a delineation required by a wetland scientist, including all three categories of required hydrology, vegetation, and soils.
Okay.
And to be done and presented by July 31st, 2026. And you will keep us informed if you run into any problems.
The other thing is, on this enforcement order, you're amending it with something new, but you haven't rescinded the other two things. There's two other things on there. You want me
Are we going to rescind the what, the
You
snow?
asked to have cars and so forth removed that were inside the 100-foot buffer. It's outside the 100-foot buffer, so you have to rescind that also.
We don't know if it is, we don't even know what the buffer is now.
Excuse me?
That's why we're having the delineation done, because we don't really know what the buffer is.
It was determined where the buffer was. I don't understand why you're having a hard time with this. It was determined back in 2020 where the buffer was.
There's no need for more discussion. You guys
Yeah,
have
I
a
think we're
motion, you
done.
can vote it.
Right.
Yeah. I agree. Okay, I need a second.
I'll second it.
All right, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Good night.
Aye.
Good night. Thank
All right,
you.
Unanimous. All right.
Okay. What's next on our agenda?
95 Niles Street.
I am going to...
Oh, sorry, no. Update on enforcement order for 15 Groveland Street.
Okay.
So they were the ones who, I think they came in the last meeting, right?
Yeah, they were just updating that planting plan for us.
Okay.
Which they did. Did I just email it to you all, or did it end up in your packets?
I don't have anything.
I don't have anything.
Did I not even send it to you guys? That could be- They definitely gave it to me, I can say that.
Okay.
Let's see.
I have to say, the wetland scientist they hired was on top of his stuff.
I didn't see anything. What are you talking about?
When he presented last meeting.
Yes,
He
yes.
is,
Yes, he seemed good.
he was very thorough and on top of his stuff, and I think he was even suggesting the diversity of plants before you even got a chance to this time.
No, we had a site walk and I mentioned it.
Oh,
But he
okay.
was very amenable to it. He understood where I was coming from.
Who was the wetland scientist, do we know?
Oh, I forgot his name, but he is very, very passionate person.
Glenn Kravosky?
Who?
Okay.
Glenn Kravosky?
Glenn.
He was definitely, he almost knew what we were gonna ask before we even asked, it seemed, so.
Yeah, no, he seemed good.
Okay. So he sent it to me last Wednesday.
Okay.
Might have gotten lost in the shelf before getting it to you guys, but he certainly did send it in.
Okay. Well, you can
Proposing
just,
that they'll plant 10 witch hazel and 10 sweet pepper at
sweet pepper bush?
6-foot spacing, yes, sweet pepper bush.
Okay.
Area will be seeded with conservation seed mix from wetland plants. This and erosion control blanket placed by the owners on the fill will be salvaged and reused on the restored slope. I think that was the only change from what the commission already approved.
Okay.
So that's kind of what was discussed in the meeting, was just figuring out what plants. So I don't know if 10 witch hazel and 10 sweet pepper at 6-foot spacing is amenable, but
That's all he's planting of bushes, no trees?
It's not a huge area.
Oh, okay.
there was a couple trees too that, so they didn't really do any clearing, they just drove it all over the side.
Oh, okay.
As a way of getting rid of the fill, I think was more there.
Did you get pictures of that? Is there in the files or anything?
Yeah, and they
Okay.
were in
No,
his
that's
report.
fine, I don't need to
His
see 'em.
report too that
Yeah.
was in the packets, his
I might
initial
mosey
report.
up to the town hall and look at a few files or
Yeah,
so.
so, there was still a few trees there
Okay,
that he was pretty sure that he was gonna be able to, maintain and keep in
Okay.
good condition since the fill's
pull
gonna
it
be
away
removed
and
pretty
they'd
quickly.
survive. Okay,
Yeah, he made a point of pointing out to me and Lynn a small scrape on one of the trees, because he wanted to make sure it was known it didn't happen under his watch.
okay,
Because he said he'll be there when they're digging out the fill around them
Yeah,
to
yeah.
salvage the trees.
yep, okay, good.
But obviously, any small brush or bushes got destroyed.
Oh, I see. I'm looking at, oh, jeez. You know what that reminds me of?
So at the last meeting, we gave them permission to start the removal of the fill, but we were gonna update whether we were fine with the planting plan.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Okay, great.
I don't know if anybody else,
Sorry.
are we okay with the planting plan?
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
sufficient for such a small area.
Yeah, I mean,
It's adequate.
my opinion, they're doing a great job of addressing it and taking care of it.
Okay.
So we'll be expecting a report after it's cleared and the plantings are done, hopefully pretty soon in the season, and then,
Okay.
fall, spring, fall again.
Okay.
All right, great. 95 Niles Street, you don't need to leave the room.
I'm not
Or
going
need
to leave the room, I'm just going to sit back and
I know.
just,
Anything?
And no update there or Randolph Street. To be honest with you, my schedule since last meeting didn't allow me to reach out to anyone.
Okay.
so
So it's
there's
not
no updates on 832 Randolph?
832 as well.
Okay.
They haven't reached out to me, but in their defense, I haven't reached out to them.
Okay.
I mean, I drive by it and I can see the trees.
On Randolph, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's definitely making headway.
yeah.
Yeah, they told, I think last meeting I said they had told me it was done. It was just getting the engineer out to finish his report.
Okay.
And he was away, and then, I know he's back by now, but I haven't reached out to him to give him a little kick, which I think might be all that's really needed here. It's just,
Okay.
hey, we need the report.
Right.
But I need to follow up and do it.
All right, so discussion on certificate of compliance letters. We talked about this at the last meeting, Jean.
I'm back, I can walk,
No,
so.
no, we were
okay.
just, because AJ, we're talking about having AJ do it, but then we realized that, well, Jean
I already
knows a lot of
started
the
it, and
ins
I've
and
got the
outs.
first
and-
page done, so once I get it
Give me the
confirmed.
list and I can make up all the labels.
AJ,
Yeah.
you gotta set up at the,
Oh, sorry.
If you give me a list of addresses and stuff, I can make up all the
Yeah.
mailing labels and everything to.
Do we know what letter we nailed down to go out to the people? I think Paul Bunker had submitted one, but we also had a few other suggestions, so.
You and John had worked together.
Yeah, John and I did work together, and we did come up with one, but if the board determined, if the commission has determined which one they want to go with, that's fine. But I hope to get back up to see Nancy and get my list, because she saved all my papers and everything. But it's a matter of going through the files, and I've started with the most recent working back. I think I started in 2024 and started going backwards.
Okay.
So, I found that actually a lot of them did have COCs, they just never were
Properly documented.
right, so.
Good.
Anyway, and then we'll go all the way back to the 1990s and beyond, which will probably, and they only come up when the properties are being sold, so.
Right.
That's the problem.
Yeah,
Anyway.
all right. All right, so we're good on that.
Oh, fee schedule.
Fee schedule. I don't know about you guys, I'm tired.
I don't want to talk about it, but we also have to talk about redoing our OOCs, and I've been writing down my
We
OOC.
gotta do an OOC.
We got
right
that, you do a OC, yeah.
Yep,
So let's do the
that's
fee
still-
schedule.
Nomination for
another
fee schedule
meeting.
next meeting.
Next meeting. Two other things. One is that we are, MACC has asked if we would like to host a wetlands delineation class.
Which would be fun.
Because last time we did soil sciences,
Yeah.
and it's so nice to be able to
Chris, you
have
gonna
it.
come to the wetland delineation one?
Depends
Come
when
on.
it is.
What?
August 13th.
August 13th,
Mark it on your calendar now.
all day. It's gonna
Come on.
be here, and then trying to
here
figure
at
out
the
where
town
exactly in the field.
I'm hoping to
go.
identify some way to park over at that vineyard area that just came under the conservations.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, I think that would be pretty nice. I just gotta look hard at the map and see if I can find somewhere to dump cars.
You have a
I
blank
have
OOC?
I got real, I got.
I don't know if I want AJ's advice on it.
No,
What did you say?
it's a legal one.
You wouldn't want to what?
I said I don't know if I want AJ's advice, and he's got a weird look in his eye.
All right.
Public
He gets
storage.
too creative sometimes.
Public storage. The manager's awesome over there. And they have a egress gate right down into the town property.
We'll figure it out.
All right, so that's one thing, so that's still in the midst of that, but it looks like it's gonna happen. Second thing, before we go to the order of conditions and finish up, is do we want to take off the month of July or the month of August?
I'm
Or do we
partial to
wanna have-
August.
Or one meeting a
Or
month.
one meeting per month
Ooh.
instead of 2 meetings per
Oh,
month. So not everyone's here, so this is,
something to
the people
consider.
here make the decision.
Oh, we are, we're gonna make the decision
Gonna make a
tonight.
decision.
Yeah, the decision, we're already, like, tonight we ran into trouble with not knowing what our meeting schedule is
Yeah.
Okay.
in July.
And we need to tell at the July 9th meeting, or June, excuse me, 9th meeting, we need to tell the date that we're going to continue that to, because they're not ready until the end of July. That was right, end of July?
That's what they asked for. Part of that is feeling out John Rockwell, so
Right.
with those couple weeks, they might have a better idea on that, give them a better idea on what they want for a date. But
Right.
either way, we're gonna need to be able to announce it at that meeting
Yeah,
for those abutters, so.
yeah.
I mean, just from a historical point of view, we've usually always not had meetings in August. But, I mean, it depends on how the other commissioners feel. I mean, I know I'm taking vacation time in August.
I'm flexible. You can-
Yeah, it just,
What's
for me, it
vacation?
gets,
I'm away.
What's vacation?
Well, I
away
mean,
in
I don't
July,
get, a
so-
vacation to us is 4 days away, so I mean, we don't really get to go far because my husband's always committed to the town of Rockland. I call him Mr. Rockland
what's that?
sometimes.
the,
I like the
at least
one,
Tom has a local.
one a month.
One a month.
Well,
I think
The
that's a
only
better
benefit
way
to that
to,
is then it doesn't we don't
pile
get
up.
cranked come
Yeah,
September
I
or
kind of like
August.
the one a month so we don't
But
get
again,
it.
I'm flexible, don't do it up for me, I just.
there's always the chance that someone's kind of holding us to the 21-day timeline.
Right.
And if they apply the last week of June, I tell them, hey, you're not meeting for 60 days, they might be more
Yeah,
upset than if it's, hey, you gotta wait an extra couple weeks.
okay, well then fine,
I'm
once a
fine with
month.
one a month.
Yeah.
Can we do the 4th week of the month? Would that be
Skip the
acceptable?
first meeting each month and do the
Yeah.
second meeting.
Do the second meeting?
Works for
That'd
me.
be
Because then that's not interfering with your vacation because you're out and you'll be back for the 4th in August.
Oh, I wouldn't want to miss a meeting. The,
I know.
yeah, that's correct. I'd be missing the first meeting of August anyways.
Yeah.
So
So,
we'll do the last,
so we'll
yeah.
be,
I
agree.
And
So
the
we'll-
last one in,
skip July 14th, meet July 28th, skip August 11th, meet August 25th.
yeah, that works.
Okay.
Say it again. So July,
Chris, AJ, you guys cool with
That
that?
works for me, yeah.
Yep. What was it, July?
Little break's better than no break?
July 28th and August what?
August 25th would be the two meeting
25th,
dates
okay.
we will have.
So July 28th and August
That
25th.
actually works very well for me, yes.
Excellent, good. Happy that everybody's happy. Okay. Complaints and correspondence or building permits?
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, any complaint we discuss with enforcement orders, so
Okay. Do you have a blank order of conditions I can have, please?
I got a stack here.
He always does.
Thank
Maybe
you.
send, Lynn, do you have your own?
I have my,
I got extras, Lynn, if you need it.
I freeze.
yeah, maybe I can,
Okay, you send one down to
Yeah,
Lynn too, I
one.
guess, Chris.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure oh, yeah.
Right, is there enough for Lynn then?
Yeah, there is. Do you have one?
Yep. Yep.
Okay. All right.
This is where the Summer Street.
A1. What have we been saying now? Limit of
Fence
work?
barrier should be placed at the limit of work line as shown on the approved plan,
Yeah,
which I'm partial to that language.
okay. A2, A3, A4, there's no dewatering. A6,
There may actually be dewatering because they are installing
Storm drains?
storm drains
Oh.
and basins.
all right, A5 then?
Yeah, in worst case, if they don't de-water, it just doesn't apply, so.
Right, it's just,
So, okay.
don't put the pump discharge into the river.
So
Or into the
therefore, B,
wetlands.
B would be, right, B1? No, it's the development. B2
Yep.
is B3 relevant?
Any drainage structure or retention pond located
It's
on
in a private property.
On B2, they're changing the drainage and flow pattern at our request.
Okay, then forget
To
that.
take that, remember that water that was going onto the Summer Street address?
Oh, right.
And they're trying to get it back into the storm.
Right,
Oh, yeah.
okay, so get rid of
Sorry.
B2.
Right.
B3 kind of talks about private property. Okay, that doesn't, that's not
Doesn't
relevant.
apply.
No, but that's a retention pond, so no.
Stormwater detention basin. I don't think, they're not making a change to that, right?
No.
Okay, then forget that. No parking lot, so no B5. B6. Is this in a floodplain? I don't think it is. Or no, it is.
It is.
Yep.
Isn't, it's above the flood, the base flood elevation, but it is within the floodplain.
No, sorry. Did we get, yeah, we had B6, right?
Yeah,
Sorry.
B6 for sure.
Sorry, just behind on my reading.
All right, no worries. I know it takes a while, so we're not doing C1. There's no detention pond. I don't think does anything in C apply?
No, I believe they're keeping the existing water management system.
Surface water, groundwater quality control.
Well, we're right by rivers, so I would say D1. D2.
An important river where our water supply comes from.
That they continue to call an intermediate stream again tonight.
I understand that. That's like on the capping of the landfill, they kept calling it a perennial stream. It's Stream River. That's the name of it.
So
Stream
weird. They should
River.
rename it.
I know, but
So, okay, D2, D3, there's no replication, so no F. Or D.
D2 is a pretty major undertaking.
D2?
Yeah, they always ask to exclude that. Remember Hancock, they asked to remove that?
Oh. Because they have their own water monitoring, though.
yeah, I'm kind of nervous because of the shoot a test.
Are they gonna have a water monitoring?
I don't know, I'm just pointing, D2 is a big burden,
Yeah.
so it should be talked about a little bit if we're gonna put it
Yeah,
on
that
there.
would,
Let's put it in there.
And see what they
then they can come
say.
back and say, this is
Okay.
what we plan, this is too much, and we can come to some sort of
Sounds good, yep.
agreement.
Mutual agreement.
yeah, because it probably isn't needed for the full duration of the project either. Only once they're
In that area.
in that vicinity.
Right, but I mean, that is our water supply. And it
No,
does-
absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, that's a big undertaking for, what was it, 3 miles of sidewalk?
I get it, but let's see what they come back with.
Yeah, it's just what, if they're up at Walnut, what's the benefit to utilizing that until they're within 200 yards of it? You're going through how many catch basins prior to the river? That's all I'm saying, is to implement it for the duration of the project. Once they go over the railroad tracks and they're working that way, why is that any concern?
Well, maybe that's something that we could talk about with them, because I suspect they're gonna say something, and we can say, we can put those sorts of things in.
Right, I mean,
Maybe
you
it's
can
not
change the
duration.
condition that it applies to from here to here and, da-da-da. Because, I mean, that is a major concern.
No, absolutely, it's a concern, it's just,
Right.
I know how
Well,
big.
again, it's going to raise the flag for them to come back and,
Yeah,
All right, G1, G2, G3, G4, G5, stockpiles have to be placed more than how many feet?
are they going to be, where are they going to stockpile anything? It's on the side of a road.
I know.
They
knowing,
proposed it was gonna be off-site.
Okay.
Okay, so we can then just say 100 feet, because it's gonna be more than 100 feet anyway.
knowing how the last project they did right there, they used the old school as staging. So I have a feeling they may try to utilize the same parcel of land.
Okay. G6, G7. That seems to be house stuff, forget that. Last time we talked about a town project, people said to do H2 just in case the property changed hands.
This is a roadway, though.
Right, I know. That's why I was gonna say,
There's no deed or anything.
no. H3 does not apply.
No.
H4, H5, H6. Which ones do we want? A, B, C, D, E, F, and G.
No G.
Yep, because it's not.
There's no
going
deed to record it against.
It's public land.
When we did Centers Ave, though, they had to get,
Because they were changing the frontages on private properties.
oh, okay. All right, that's fine.
So
I'm so cold.
are they
know.
changing any frontages
Trying
on
to
this?
Everything's taking place within the right of way.
Yeah, so there's no,
Nothing to a private property. Okay, no G then.
Yep.
H7,
yep.
A, B, C. Oh, what can we do about that? About C? I guess we have to keep
Herbicides.
keep that in because, yeah. No H8, H9, I1, I2. Okay, we can't do A, correct? I2, B. Are they felling any trees?
I'd leave it. If they don't, then it doesn't,
Then C,
it doesn't say they have to fell trees if we put it on there.
E, yeah, E. And then special conditions. What do we want to add?
Invasive species plan.
Management plan?
Management plan, and then management plan to include removal and trucking plan. Make sure it's not getting trucked up the street and dumped at Groveland Street. Or, and then need to exclude snow removal from work area, make sure it's removed to non-protected areas. Because if they are working during winter, we want to make sure that's handled accordingly by them, not,
Did we ask for a time frame when this would begin and when it would start?
He wasn't sure at the first meeting they came to.
Okay.
but just something, make sure we include, because otherwise it will round circle of, we don't own it, but now we can't work because you put the snow here, round circle, and then it becomes past the buck, and they just push it over the edge into the wetlands.
Seen that done.
We had language that was similar to that with Hancock, Chestnut,
Yeah, I can look what we did there.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because that was where we finally,
I mean, the snow currently just gets pushed to the wetlands on both sides. It's a road with no curbing. So
The only
the
thing I
plow
want to
drives
say
down
too-
one side pushing it this way
Yeah.
and the other side also pushing it.
right.
But you know what I didn't see in their narrative? Is that whole area a no salt zone? Do we
Yep.
have signage down there that says that?
Yes, there is.
There is? Where's the signs down there? Because the last time I was down Summer Street, I don't remember seeing them.
One right by Chestnut.
No, no, no. I'm talking about Summer Street.
Yeah, one by Chestnut,
You mean Walnut?
or Walnut,
I was
sorry.
gonna say, I don't-
One
Chestnut
by
Street.
Walnut.
Okay.
There's one at the senior center I know I've seen, and then there's one right by the pond at the train tracks. Whether
But not
that's,
one, it's funny that they didn't put one on the corner of Progress, because one side of Progress is the wetland.
oh, I know.
They didn't put one there. That's kind of odd,
Oh, there's none on Progress.
which is really, really weird.
Yeah, the one by the senior center and the pond are probably for the train track. There's usually signs not to salt the train
Yeah.
track.
Right. But I mean, like
So
with anything
no,
else,
no salt zone signs.
yeah,
That's, we can put it on there as a condition.
I would say that would be wise.
We don't have, yeah, special condition, no salt,
And then
and no salt signs.
sediment controls, something I've noticed on a couple of our recent site walks, especially where it's road traffic. Silt sock alone really isn't adequate for debris.
Right.
So we want to make sure it's silt fence,
Compost tubing or
compost tubing.
straw bales?
I just want to see silt fence, whether it's buried silt fence or silt fence in combination with straw bale or logs.
Compost tubing?
Compost tubing, yeah. Just something we should get in the habit of anywhere that there's going to be traffic. Not so much like a residential job, but
Yeah.
anywhere like this, like we saw elsewhere, the trash is blowing into the woods and everything.
Yeah.
You get no protection.
You know, from them pushing snow, whatever, silt fences go over, and then it just, I mean, we had that
Yep.
in other properties, so.
And you know I'm favorable to the wire enforced silt fence, but that becomes a subjective argument on a lot of them.
Okay.
So if we drive by and we notice the silt fence is all messed up, we just call Johnstone and said, hey, fix it, that's it, that's all we want.
That's an option.
He's
Or
gonna
do
say,
we-
not my responsibility.
Yeah, or
mean-
whoever the
Call the
contractor is.
contractor.
I mean, how does that work?
It would probably be better to go through me so that it gets logged and, if AJ calls on Tuesday and Gene calls on Wednesday and you call on Thursday,
Yeah,
I have a list of,
Yeah.
we called on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, as opposed to each going, oh, I called once and
yeah,
over, and then we come to a meeting and realize it happened 3 times.
yeah. And I think that's
But yeah,
what-
I would, something like this, I'd reach out
That's
to
what we
John.
normally do. I mean, in the
Because he'd be
past, like,
handling the contractor on this.
With the big-
Road project isn't something with building permits where I put
right,
out the contractor. I assume one this size, it's not the town themselves doing so much, this would be subbing it out.
okay.
Can we think of anything else?
No. Not right now.
Okay. Didn't we have something for Hancock Chestnut? We talked about storms, right? If there was a storm within 24-something hours,
Oh,
that they would have to, prepare the site. You remember what that was?
Yeah, that was to do with their,
Piles.
material storage.
right, the
which in this
material
one,
storage, they had to make
they
sure
are
it was
proposing to
covered
be
or
on
whatever in
site.
case of a
Right,
storm.
okay. So, and they're not gonna have
No.
piles.
They're
That's
gonna-
what he said, is that they'd be storing off-site, and that's what our order's gonna call for.
Yeah.
Hancock pretty much had like a almost 0-foot buffer on their material storage as a general rule, but they were, in preparation of a storm, would be moving it and protecting it.
Do they have to put anything
Because they were
in there
kind
when
of,
they're
when we're
doing-
working in there, we're just there.
Like the
Yeah.
bags?
Yeah,
Did we put that in there?
that was in sediment and erosion controls.
Oh, sediment and erosion control, the bags
We
for
wanna
the,
have something about, well, we already have, but they have to inspect their sediment and erosion controls, but do we want to give them a time frame? Like, you have 24 hours to fix this type of thing.
for rain events or whatever? I mean, I don't know what'll happen.
Because, you get a lot of wind, those silt fences start to just get really ratty, and
I mean,
it'd be nice to not have to drive by and have all 4 of us, for
So the
example, call.
current wording we have, so B6, should any erosion or sedimentation control measure fail, immediate action will be given by the applicant. Immediate attention will be given by the applicant or his representative to correcting the failure and to rectifying the adverse impact from the failure. For example, by the removal of any silt or debris that may bypass the control measure. The commission must be notified within 24 hours of the failure.
That's B6.
I would actually
Currently
change
calls for-
that a little bit, the wording, because it's immediate attention, and then you can say, well, I paid attention to it. I'll get to it when I get to it. you
Okay.
know? So maybe it's worth saying, immediate attention and correction, something along those lines.
Immediate attention and action.
And action will be taken.
yeah, and then,
Well, action can be, I got off my butt and walked. So,
And immediate remediation?
it's usually covered under, I think it falls under zoning typically, so it's a double-edged sword, but sweeping and maintaining street of dirt and debris.
Oh, we always have that.
Yeah, put that in
Remember,
the
for
special.
sites, we always would have.
Sweep the roads clean.
Leave the roads clean at the end of the day.
Right. I know sometimes it's when we read through, but
This is why I want to have.
Also, if they do it during the summer, I don't know if any of you have had road work done during the
Yeah.
summer.
they have to water for dust control under OSHA anyways.
Okay, I just want to make sure,
Yep.
because things have happened. When they put
Yep.
sewer lines in, all of a sudden there was like dust storms in the neighborhoods and people were complaining. Vernon Street, when they put the main sewer line in, that's the next street over from me.
Yep.
I mean, that was like a Sahara desert.
Yeah, they'll come back with the argument of how do we water the street in a water ban?
It's not water that they used to use, something else, I believe it was.
No, it's straight water.
Nope, I think it was something else.
What else
Because
do
it
they,
smelled funny.
sometimes they mix calcium to make it stick.
Maybe that was
but
it, I
they won't
don't
be able to use
Okay,
it.
so we're gonna water.
Okay. Alrighty then,
Is that it?
I think so.
We're done? Okay.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, unanimous.